Hello, Gelato Familia. It is George, the Disney Italiano, with Mr. Theme Park Conductor here. We are back with another live, and I'm sporting my shades because I just have to. It's like I'm living in that moment because for all of you who may know or may not know, we kind of left you in the wings, not knowing really in full detail of what went down yesterday when we were getting our or attempting to try to get our D23 tickets, but we have came. We have wait, I think I just screwed it up. No, I'm kidding. We came, we saw, we conquered. But in any case, before we get in any of the detail, I got to come over here to my partner in crime, Mr. Theme Park Conductor, who has joined me on this wild and crazy train, if you will, on trying to get D23 tickets. His very first time, not even just going to D23, but to go through this whole experience from beginning to end. And first, I have to ask you, how you doing today? And then also, how you feeling after yesterday?
Good question. Good question. 72 hours of hell. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, but I'm doing awesome. Can't wait to talk about this live and every little sad, happy, and angry moment all in one about this experience. So I can't wait. But I've never seen anything like it. And we'll get into someone that actually helped me and George get into D23 and get the tickets, but it was definitely an experience to remember. And
Can you see where my stress level comes in?
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. It was a Dragon Blood said it's a true coaster of emotions. That it was crazy. But everybody, you can find me Theme Park Conductor on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on Instagram at Theme Park Conductor, X at Theme Park or Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we talk about D23 now, HHN, the Disney parks, Universal parks, and just all the speculation and rumors that we get into in the chat. You guys are awesome because you engage with us and we engage with you. So it's such a great time. And big shout out to Madame Lizelle, because anytime she hears I'm with George in the park, she's like, yep, I'm going. It's always a great time. So I really do appreciate Madame Lizelle very, very much. And then I got to talk to Dragon Blood last night on Instagram through messages. So I'm glad I was able to talk to him. But that's my story so far.
Absolutely. And speaking of Dragon Blood, before we move in to got to give a big shout out to him for becoming a new member, Silencio Bruno member of Hello Gelato, and of course gifted some super chats, a $49.99 super chat. My experience, got on the 24-hour countdown ASAP, stayed up all night, waited in the queue for a half an hour, couldn't get a 3-day ultimate pass, came back hours later and managed to snag a 3-day convention center ticket for the afternoon. And I will get into that comment. But again, Dragon Blood, thank you so much for the super chats, for becoming a member, and also for joining today's live as well. It's always good to see you. For the $9.99 super chat, it's been a minute since I tuned in, but I am back. See you all at D23. I'm honestly lucky I got to snag tickets for a second try. Unfortunately, I have no Honda Center, but I should have loads of fun. Absolutely. I, too, was able to talk with Dragon Blood through Instagram. I was kind of going back and forth with him through this whole experience, asking him, did he get into the virtual queue? What place in line was he in? How much longer does he have? Did he get any tickets? And I felt so bad because he had his heart set on going when I found out that he wasn't able to get anything. But I was very happy for him when I talked to him late last night on Instagram that he said that he was able to snag a 3-day convention afternoon set of tickets. So I'm glad that he's still able to go into the convention center and experience, because as far as I know, the D23 Ultimate Fan event is going to stay open an extra hour than it usually has in the past. It usually closes each night at 7. It is staying open until 8. So that way he'll have an extra hour in the convention. So shout out and kudos to Dragon Blood for not giving up. And speaking of not giving up, I was pretty much ready to throw in the towel right at the beginning, because as soon as we got into the queue, we were waiting. It takes a couple minutes for it to generate a number, and right off the bat, I was number 79,000 and some odd change. Conductor, I believe you were number 65,000 something. Yeah. I knew I was done. There is no way. The Honda Center only can seat up to about 18,000 some people. So 18,000 people, and I'm number 79,000. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm screwed. It's over. It's like, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm still going to stay on, because you just never know. Conductor was on. We waited. And then that's when our saving grace came to us. And as I said, I give him the most props, the most kudos, because he truly was the hero who saved the day. And that is our very good mutual friend and friend of the channels, Mr. Jason Hill. So he ended up reaching out to both of us through the Instagram chat, I believe. So we were kind of going back and forth. He was asking like what place in line we were. He was number 48,000 and some odd change. And he said, you know what? If I get in and if I'm able to get your guys' tickets while I'm in there, I'll be happy to do so. Conductor and I were already on a StreamYard because since he had a lower number than me, he was going to share his screen since this was going to be his first time doing it, because chances were he was going to get in before me. And he would share his screen and I'd like walk him through it and we'd do it together. So while we were already on the live, or not the live, but the StreamYard in person live, Jason decided to join us. You know, we were, BSing for a little bit. We were chit-chatting and we're just like watching the clock just tick down. And as it's getting closer and closer, Jason started like getting nervous because he's like, oh my God, this is like all riding on me, and everything. And sure enough, we got in. But unfortunately, the 3-day Ultimate Fan Pass was pretty much gone, non-existent by the time we got in. The only ones left were the preferred floor seating for the $2,300 to $2,600. And we just couldn't, that just wasn't in our price range. We weren't prepared for that. So all three of us collectively agreed that we were going to do the individual Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But what we ended up finding out is when they said each person has a lot of up to 6 tickets, it's 6 tickets for the whole shebang. It's not, if you're getting individual days, it's 6 tickets for Friday, 6 tickets for Saturday. It's the whole entire thing. So Jason did some quick wit math, and what he ended up doing was just buying the more upscale ticket for him. So that counted as 1, which was the 3-day Ultimate Fan Pass. And then he ended up getting me, Abby, and Conductor are Saturdays, and then me and Abby are Fridays. That was the 6. Thankfully, Conductor and I stayed in the virtual queue, and Conductor was up. So he got in, I think, within less than a half hour before Jason. And so after he got in there, he was able to nab his Friday, and then himself, me, and Abby's Sunday. And then here comes me pulling up the rear about like 2 hours later with number 79,000. And we just left it. We stayed on and it was successful. We all got our tickets. We took a big sigh of relief. Then we decided to wait because we were curious to see what would be left by the time I got in there. It was bone freaking dry.
Yeah.
By the time I got in there.
Saturday gone, Friday gone, and I'm meeting at the Honda Center. Sunday still had a handful of tickets. I would say probably a good maybe 150 seats. But the 3-day, again, no $300 or $700 or $900 seats. They were all above $2,000, and I'm like, I told George, I'm like, nope, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That was chaos. That, because what's funny is we talked to multiple D23 customer service representatives because we called a day before the 24-hour countdown, and we asked them all these questions, and they even said, which was hilarious. They said, "Oh, we enhanced it and made it better than it was in 2024." George, I'm going to ask you, because obviously I didn't attempt to buy tickets in 2024. Was it any better than it was in 2024, or you think it was the same?
So from my personal experience, I think it was a little better because when Jason was in there and then when you were in there, we were able to kind of like maneuver at times where we clicked on certain seats and
Sure.
we're like, no, that doesn't work. Click off of them, try these seats. So we still had a little bit of time. 2024, I'm sorry, folks, I'm not going to mince my words. It was a shit show.
Wow.
It kicked me out. I had to reboot. I had to get back in the virtual queue.
God.
Everything was gone within seconds for however many block dot tickets that they had left. So I could say it was a little better. Now, that was just to my own personal experience. We have seen on social media while we were waiting in the virtual queue, because a lot of people were updating everyone what's left, what's not, how long it's taking. But there were some people that posted on social media that went through kind of the same thing that I did 2 years ago, where they waited in the virtual queue the whole entire time. It took them to the page to purchase their tickets, and it kicked them out. It booted them out. They had to go right back in the virtual queue, but they ended up going all the way back to the bottom. So it worked better. So it worked better for me, I think, for us compared to 2 years ago, but I still think they have some.
Well, one of the things I'm going to tell you right now that I see, this is what I see right now, is personally for me, I would like to see, maybe in June, late June, early July, they send an email out to all the people that couldn't attend the Honda Center. And I'm sure there's still some convention center seats. I haven't checked today. I haven't looked, but the Honda Center is pretty much gone, except for Sunday's probably still pretty open. But what I would do is send an email out late June, early July, stating, hey, if you are a Disney Plus subscriber, we could sell you a virtual presentation, whether it's going to be live or pre-recorded. It would probably be live, but the thing is, it would probably be like, I don't know, 70, $80. But you can live stream it on your TV. The only thing is, they would have it retrofitted where if you're a content creator, obviously you can't do that. It's more for you watching it than maybe talking about it after, but.
Or if they, after tickets, like if they have like an upcharge premium on Disney Plus, that on the day of it, that, like how they used to do during COVID in the Chapek era, where you had to pay an extra however much to unlock movies early, so it's kind of like your theater go experience.
Yeah.
That would be my case, that they could do the same thing, for Disney Plus subscribers or what have you. But the two things that I think that they should change of fixing the glitches and the bugs, one, they need to stop just releasing info a week before the tickets go on sale. People cannot be prepared mentally, financially, not knowing how much these tickets are 1 week in advance. I'm sorry, that's not enough. That's not enough time. So that's the first thing I wish that D23 would consider on changing. Number two is they need to stop doing this randomized raffle ticket kind of thing that pushes you into the system. It should be first come, first serve. However you click, that is your place in line.
Yeah. I think my two, honestly, would be that option would be the first one. The second one is a strong tie for first, because when everybody that has a gold membership, okay, a paid D23 gold membership, which me and George are choice, so we're technically in the middle, okay, because essential, I think it's a essential, right, George? That's the $2.99, or is it the complete?
So it goes essential, choice,
complete. Okay. So we talked about this. We said, okay, well, once the Disney Visa card holders are done, once the charter members are done, and then it goes to the gold paid memberships of D23, it should go essential, choice, complete. What they did is exactly the opposite. They said, nope, we're going to throw essential, choice, complete all in the mix. And you can't do that, because obviously we saw people, again, online, that were commenting, saying how, what a disappointment it is. Even a couple of our people in the chat here are saying it was glitchy. We got kicked out. It's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible system. And I think if they, like George said, got rid of the lottery system, first come, first serve, first come, first serve would be the first thing. The second thing is you do the tier system. Depending on the price point you paid for your gold membership, your paid gold membership, that's how it should go.
And it should be like in intervals of like 30 minutes.
Yes.
So 30 minutes, start complete. The next 30 minutes, start choice. Then the last 30 minutes, do essential.
Yep. 100%.
So we got SD Drawings in the house. Welcome in, SD Drawings. We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back in. Got my tickets too for my third D23. Congrats. So glad you were able to get tickets. And for your third D23. All right. And then we got Mr. David in the house. Welcome in, David. Always glad to see you. Let's see. And of course, my hollow. Wait. Yeah, my hollow to my gelato. I can't like even talk today. Abby got Abby in the house. Good Lord. And then Mademoiselle says you're still going to have a great time at the convention center to Dragon Blood. Tons of things to do there. Hope they live stream the Honda Center at the convention center. I hope so too. I know they've done it a few times in the past, but now I guess since the demand is much high, I think they stopped it, but who knows? Maybe they will.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we got.
I would like that.
And then Dragon Blood says, I cannot thank you, you guys enough for sharing the tips. Absolutely, Dragon Blood. And again, even though you didn't get exactly what you were hoping to get, but I'm glad you were able to get something. And then plus you're coming out for Disneyland and Universal Hollywood. So I mean, you're living it up.
I can't wait to meet you in person.
That's absolutely. And then of course, what's alive without Giant Peter Adventures? I am going to hop back in a few minutes, but just wanted to say a quick hello, gelato, and choo-choo to everyone. So I'm sure Peter will be back in a bit to start his shenanigans.
Oh, of course.
It's an honest miracle I was able to get tickets. I've been anticipating this for a whole year. And that's why I'm so glad you were able to get something, Dragon Blood. I really am, because for I think over a year, we've been kind of like chit-chatting back and forth, you know, anticipating on going and what have you. So I'm glad you were able to get something.
Absolutely. And then I love Shane
Ronnie. Yeah.
Yeah. It says you guys can be on-site reporters. Like, this is a theme park conductor coming from the D23 floor. Oh, you better believe I'm doing that, and I will credit you that. Thank you for doing that already. I'm at the park area. To my right is the Encanto ride vehicle. To my left is the Coco replica. Here, you know what? I'll add the third option to that. Straight on, I see Avatar. Ooh.
Or you could do straight on is Avatar. No, just kidding. Wishful thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Late April Fool's joke.
Yeah. But no, that's actually a great idea, Sean Arani. I could definitely see like, this is theme park conductor coming to you live from the Anaheim Convention Center for my very first D23 Ultimate Fan event. We're about to go into the Imagineering Pavilion. And to our right, folks, yes, we have the ride vehicle to the Coco boat ride. But to our left, we have original concept pieces of Encanto and Indiana Jones for Tropical Americas. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And then behind me, sneaking up behind me, is the hollow to the gelato sneaking up on me. Oh, man.
And then we have John Make It Rain. Let's go. Welcome in. Let's see. And Mademoiselle says, yeah, that would be great if they could live stream on Disney Plus. Hey, because I think it would entice people to become subscribers for Disney Plus. I also think it's, they'd be making some more bank, because I'm for sure people who can't attend the Honda Center events or wanted to, that's a good extra upcharge. Now, obviously, they wouldn't do the studio, because the studio is much more secretive.
Oh yeah, but
the parks. But I think the parks that would work out perfectly.
The parks panel and the legend ceremony for sure.
Now, I do think they do the legend ceremony. I think the next day they do release that.
Oh, they do it. So it's just.
I remember seeing Mr. freaking Lucas Kim on Disney Plus. He was showcased several times.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And then John Make It Rain says, just move it to the Anaheim Angels Stadium.
Smart.
Absolutely. I mean, eventually they're going to have to move it to a bigger venue.
Oh, yeah. The Honda Center is like a temporary Band-Aid. It's not worth it. Now, it's funny because right after D23 tickets, I was kind of, scratching my little goatee here that you see me do right here. I'm like, you know what? We're already adrenaline high. We're already, in the mood. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go on the D23 website. Let's nab Angel tickets. So we're going to the Angel game for D23. And hopefully out of those 2,300 D23 Mickey statues, I get the golden Mickey statue. So we'll see.
I'm going to have to record this because I have a funny feeling. After spending 2 weeks in Florida with this guy, I don't know how he finesses his way around things.
I do.
Like, he gets not even what he thinks he's going to expect, but he gets that and then some. Like, we get freaking, like, we already get like priority seating for Fantasmic. But I don't know what he said or did that got us into the section that they weren't even sitting people in yet.
No.
And they're shooing everyone away, but we're the only ones sitting there. I don't, and again, this is all thanks to him. So I could literally see him at Angel Stadium, literally standing there, like having them rummaging through the boxes just to try to find the golden Mickey.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say, hey, I'm a content creator. Here's my sticker. Here's my little button. I'm legit.
Stickers.
This would be content worthy, and believe me, I will tag the Angels in this 100% and give you guys glowing praise if you can hook me up with the golden Mickey statue. Watch. I'm gonna pull it off. Watch. I'm gonna do it.
I could see you. I could definitely see you do that. And then we got Chris West in the house. Says minus the third party vendors.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think like that would be if they move it to the Angel Stadium, it would just be for the like the big events and still hold like the stuff in the convention center. But yeah, like I am gonna miss the like the third party vendors for sure inside the convention center. Now, what they're saying is that the replacement is going to be more actually stuff from, I guess, maybe the Walt Disney Family Museum or the Walt Disney Archives or what have you, because that's a huge space. If
Yeah.
you ever walk that area when they had the third-party vendors, if you remove all those booths, it is a big, big room.
Yes.
Huge.
Okay.
So I'm very curious.
No, 100%, because Angel Stadium, if memory serves me correct, it could seat 55,000 people in that stadium. That is like almost triple of what Honda Center can hold. And the thing is, they could put the stage way out in center field and they wouldn't have a problem. I think they could do it. But speaking of third-party vendors, because I was curious, George, I went on StubHub, and they're on StubHub. There are
Really?
1, 2, 3 tickets available, probably from 3 different vendors. You know what? Let me see if I could share.
Okay, so I will say that did get better because 2 years ago there was there were like buckets full of tickets on there.
Let me share my screen, George, if I
Okay.
may.
Yep.
And I'm going to show you guys what we're looking at here. Okay. So let me make this a little bit bigger. I'm glad I have this dual monitor set up. It's a lot easier. Okay, so we're going to click on this one right here. D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, 3-day pass. See tickets. 2 tickets available left. $1,800, including fees.
Okay, now look, it's $1,800, but look where they're sitting.
$436.
So technically, that was like a $500 seat.
Yep.
Or yeah, like a $500 seat that just went up $1,300.
Yep. So if we
wait. Oh, actually, let me take that back. So wait, is it $1,800 per ticket or is it $1,800 for the 2?
Let me see, because I don't know. Let me close some of these windows because it did it twice. I think it's for both tickets. It's $1,800. Let me see if I could click on it. No, it's $1,800 per ticket. So if you wanted both of them, it would be $3,600.
Jeez, for a so technically that would have been a $500 ticket. So you're probably looking at like a little over $1,000. So you're paying an extra $2,600
for that.
For that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That is what I mean. And then if we go to the next one, which is the D23 Expo Disney Fan Event 3-day pass. This is the 14th, 15th, and 16th. 2 tickets left. Look at this. This is nuts. I'm trying to make my okay. Look at this. $2,800 per ticket. 3,300, 3,900, and that's on the floor on 112. 5,500 and 221 per ticket.
That is crazy. 5,500 per ticket.
Look at this one. 9,190 per ticket. This is getting ridiculous. If Disney wants to
now, here's the thing. Now,
these people.
Now, here's the and I will say it did get better than 2 years ago. 2 years ago was wild. Yeah. But I will say this. Yes, there are these people that are putting these on like black market pricing and price gouging when these could have actually went to people who legitimately wanted to go and buy them straight through D23 that they could have had tickets for whatever price that they were going for. But they got snatched up by people that are just putting them on to not even double the price or triple the price. They may be like quadrupling the price and beyond.
Yeah. And it's disgusting behavior. This one's for August the 16th. Look at this. These tickets are even worse or just as bad. 2,000.
Just for the legend ceremony?
Yeah, 2,600.
Wow.
3,800, 3,900 for one ticket. That's not both tickets. That's one ticket. One ticket.
That's crazy.
This is insanity right here.
And we got Ryan C. Vlogs in the house. He says, my mom was waitlisted. So, and I'm glad, Ryan, you brought that up, because that is another option that for, I'm assuming now that all tickets on the D23 website are completely sold out, because um, I guess they will start, yeah, they'll start the waitlisting process. And again, it's completely randomized, which again, I really wish that they wouldn't do that. But, and I think they'll start sending out emails on May 15th if you are the select um, choice to receive tickets. You'll
Yeah.
get an email from D23, and you'll also receive a phone call from a D23 team member, is what it said, I believe, on the website.
Well, let's take a look. Let's find out here. Let's act like we're getting tickets and let's see what happens. I'm very curious on this.
Welcome back, Peter.
I'm curious what's going to go down here if the Legend ceremony sold out. I'm very, very, very curious.
Okay, and real quick, while you're doing that, really quick, I just have to bring this up. So we got Remy D in the house. What's up, guys? Did you guys get your tights? But I'm assuming he meant tickets. But do you know what, Remy D? We're men in tights.
Don't encourage this guy, because literally we were at Universal yesterday, and that's all I heard at City Walk at Bubba Gump last night. Him, Mademoiselle, and Abby were, oh my god, I felt like I was in a comedy club or something. It was ridiculous. Okay, so right now, as we sit, the 3-day Honda Center Anaheim Convention Center is open, but only for the floor seats.
Okay, so there's still, and this is for the 3-day Ultimate Pass?
Yeah, so the cheapest I could find, which is in the back row on this side, you're looking at it on your screen, $2,300 and $2,310.25. That's the cheapest ticket
Per ticket
if you want the floor seat.
And can you make it go a little closer to see, like, are they all together? Okay, so there's still a few rows up at the front, and then yeah, there's like some individual seats towards the back.
Yeah, that's kind of not.
See if these seats don't go, then those are the seats that are going to be waitlisted. So for people who are on the wait list, that's great. And if, I mean, not great, you're on the wait list, but I mean, if you get off the wait list, that's great. But it may only be whatever is left, and it may only be like those higher end seats.
Yeah. So obviously you can still get those floor seats here. Friday, like we described, gone. Saturday, gone. Let's check Sunday. That would be the Legend ceremony.
Now, Peter, you said no tickets for me. Did you try for D23, or you just weren't going in general?
Oh, look at this. One seat.
One seat
Right there. And then the rest of them, again, another one seat, 330. This is all, I think, handicap, I think. Was that? Oh, yeah, hearing impaired. So that doesn't count unless you are hearing impaired.
After Florida, after we did Tommy's thing, I am a little bit in the left ear.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, it's slim pickings, but Friday and Saturday are a no-go. It is done, and then more done on top of done. It's ridiculous.
Oh, so he said if I do go, it'll just be for the convention. Dragon Blood says, also for the first time, Galaxy's Edge, Tiana's, Avengers Hallway, in brackets for now. So he's still got a lot of things to experience. So yeah, good for you, Dragon Blood. Then we got Mouseward Bound in the house. Welcome in. I'm so glad you both were able to get something and you still will be attending. Hope to see you guys there. Absolutely, Mouseward Bound, and so glad that you're able to attend. But yeah, anytime, if anyone is there and you see us on the showroom floor, or if you happen to see us in the Honda Center prior to us getting to our seats, or even if you're sitting with us like around our seats in mixed company, please feel free to come up and say hello and what have you. As you all know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Conductor knows, Abby knows, Mademoiselle knows, I am an attention whore. I really am. So
See how I didn't even hesitate on that? I just said it right outright.
yeah, that's just it. Like, yeah, he doesn't even flinch at it anymore.
No, I don't. Nope. Now I want to ask you, George. Like myself, obviously you're going to be my tour guide because I won't know where things are at. But for everybody going to the event that hasn't been there, what do you recommend as soon as we walk through the doors of the convention center and actually get on the showroom floor? What is the best practices you could do as a first timer? And is there anything that people should, I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word run, but maybe head towards first?
Ooh, great question. So 2 years ago, now I don't know what is all going to be involved this year. There's going to probably be a lot more new stuff. So once the schedule comes out for more details of what's going to be in the convention center, it'll give me a little bit more of a in-depth sense of like what to pick and choose. So I'll just go by 2 years ago, and then you can kind of get like a gist of what it is. So once we go through, once you come off a harbor, go on to Catella, enter through the security and everything. As far as I remember, the security was very smooth. They were able to get us through. You get a complimentary, hopefully they do it again. They give you a complimentary little tote bag, little plastic tote bag, and a lanyard. And then that's when you're on the convention grounds and what have you. They have a bunch of food trucks out in the front, and they have the big D23 sign and the posters and everything where they do a lot of like the group photos and everything. And then when you enter through the convention, that's when you enter through the showroom floor. Now, for me, for 2 years ago, there was a couple things that was a highlight. Obviously, the Imagineering Pavilion. Now, a lot of times what they do is you can go through the Imagineering Pavilion on Friday, but you don't see everything because they will have certain things blocked off until after Saturday. And then that's why I think now that I'm thinking about it, it's good to go into the convention on Sunday, because that's when they will unveil things that were hidden prior to Saturday night. So you get a little more in depth of maybe like some more concept art or drawings or anything that's coming up on the horizon for the parks. So I definitely say hit up the Imagineering Pavilion. Another thing that they did, and this was through Lucasfilm, this was really cool. Actually, myself, OG, and Lucas Kim went to experience this. It was this thing where it was like a screen, but it was like you are standing in real time, like you are in the moment, like of what they do with the cameras, like for the Mandalorian and what have you.
Yeah,
like where you're actually in real time. That was really cool to experience. You could just like watch the little presentation, or you can get in line and actually be a part of it. And you could actually stand up there and look yourself into the camera while you're in that world. I think it's really cool. And I bet you they're going to do something like that with not even just Star Wars again, but maybe with Avatar. That would be kind of cool. Also, too, another pro tip is when they start releasing this kind of like randomized raffle thing to try to get guaranteed seating for some of these panels and presentations, I believe that is on, let's see, badges go out the July 13th, and I think they start sending out the emails July 20th. So whatever some of the panels and presentations that will be held in the convention center, we will have an opportunity to get guaranteed seating. They'll give you a link, you click on it, and you kind of pick. It's like a randomizer machine, and it's like a multi-choice thing, and it says, okay, in section 1, pick what you would like the best. Pick one. Section 2, pick what you would like. And they would randomize it, and then on a certain date, you would get another email of if you did get any prioritized seating for anything or not. If you do, great. Then you show up at the designated time. It'll tell you where these panels and presentations are located in the convention center. However, if you have not, then you just have to do the regular standby line.
Okay.
If you are doing the standby line, if there is something that seems popular or something that you really want to do and you want to make it a priority, get there early. I get it. You're standing in line. It sucks. But trust me, you'll have plenty of time to see all the other stuff on the convention floor on Sunday, during Saturday, during the day before the big presentation. There's still plenty of time. You have a full weekend. But if this is something that you really want to see as a panel or a presentation, get in line early, because once they fill up the seating for the prioritized people, then they start moving people in for the standby.
Got it. Sounds good. Looks like you have another super chat.
Do we? That's what I was trying. Oh, there we go. Okay, so first I just want to show here, Mr. Theme Park Conductor gifted 5 people memberships, and whoever got those 5 memberships, you're very lucky, because you know what, he puts out some very, very, very great content that I think everyone should have the opportunity to take a look at. And especially for members, you get exclusive content that you will not see on his regular channel. So definitely, for being a member, eat that up. Take 100%. It as you can get it. And then we have a super chat from let's see, the only C Theorist. I do apologize. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. We gifted for $4.99. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. What's the best time to arrive at the convention center? I've seen people arrive super early before. And how long is the Honda Center presentation usually? Well, again, thank you so much for the super chat, and great questions. So the first part, I remember when people started lining up the night before. Wow. I actually was one of them. I was down in the basement, or as I like to call, the dungeon of the Anaheim Convention Center, to try to get into the park's presentation when they were still holding it at the convention center.
Oh, geez.
Or we were all sleeping on the floor.
Oh,
hard, cold concrete.
Ugh.
I think that's why they ended up moving it to the Honda Center, because it was like kind of a little bit inhumane to have people sleeping on the floor in the convention center. Plus it was just, and then people were lining up for the merch. That was another thing, because people were lined up from Catella off of Harbor. And the city of Anaheim was not happy. The police, because they would have to patrol the area because everyone was blocking the sidewalks. And they were not happy about it, but there was nothing they can do. I mean, you're going to tell over 2,000 Disney fans that have been waiting in line for the merch. It's like, so I think the city of Anaheim talked to Disney and D23 about that. So you can arrive. They said that the convention opens, I believe everything opens up at 9, but you can start lining. I think people are going to probably start lining up like several hours, prior. Wow. That you could still like stand, in line just to get into the convention. Then what they'll do is, once you get through the security, they'll start like you walk in a line, and they'll take you into the convention, and then they line you up for the morning. And then once they start letting people in, boom, you're on the showroom floor. That's so again, awesome. I think it also depends on of each person's individualized priority. That again, once the schedule comes out, if there are certain things that are happening in the morning, maybe there's a presentation you really want to see at, say, 9:45 a.m., 10 a.m., sure. Then you want to be in that convention by the time it opens at 9 a.m., because once they open those doors, as much as you want to see everything else, get to that standby line early. If it's at 10, if the doors open up at 9, you get your butt in line and wait. And again, I know it's going from a line to a line, but I guarantee you a lot of these presentations are worth it depending on what you are into. I've attended the Aladdin, I think it was the 30th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it was the 30th. And they had the actors from the movie, from the live action and the animated. Wow. They did live performances where they sang A Whole New World. It was a great show. I also was able to attend the unfortunate but very, very well done and beautiful tribute to Richard Sherman. They actually had his memorial service as one of the presentations
Oh, geez.
at D23, and it was done on the spot because no one knew he was going to pass, and they did it lickety split. And I tell you what, without a hiccup, that thing went off without a hitch. They had Haley Mills, Leslie Ann Warren was there, Leonard Maltin, everyone. Richard's son was there, the rest of his family, and they were John Stamos hosted it, and they were playing, Feed the Birds and songs from Mary Poppins, and it was me, Jason Hill, OG. I could have sworn there was, and Lucas Kim. There was 4 of us that we attended, and there we are, 4 grown men, and we're just sitting there like bawling, like while they're playing Let's Go Fly a Kite. And I think what really got me the most out of that presentation was they had a piano on stage. It was his piano, or not like his, but like a piano that he used, and they had it synchronized digitally to Richard's playing. So it played live digitally, but it was almost like he was playing it.
That's cool.
The most weirdest in the most beautiful, great way ever. And as I said, that was again, to my rambling, I think depending on what you want to see and what you want to do. Now, if you're going to just do a lot of like a walk around the showroom floor, I don't think you really have to go super early. You can kind of like meander, through things, unless again, there's something on the schedule. And especially with merch, if you're going for merch and you want to get into the store, get there early. I'm for sure they'll give more finer detail information about virtual queues for that.
That's going to be a nightmare.
Because, I think honestly, out of everything, that a lot of times the stores, especially like the Mickey's of Glendale, gets very popular. The Walt Disney Company store, it people go nuts.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Okay, so my plan of attack is going to be, obviously, I want to do another live stream with you when they release those details.
Oh, absolutely.
But from kind of just hearing what you've said, watching other people post about it in previous years, I think Friday is going to be my priority. First thing in the morning, do the merch shopping. That's going to be priority number 1. Then after that, kind of, walk the showroom floor, not do a crazy a lot, but enough where I feel satisfied. Then, because we don't know what time the studio panel is at Honda, right? Or do we?
Yeah, I think they said it. So I think it's at
7, right?
7. The studio and parks are at 7.
Okay.
And then Legends is at 1:30.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, Friday morning, I'm going to do merch shopping, walk the floor. Then Saturday, well, again, I like you said, George, I have to wait and see what the schedule is, because there might be something I personally want to see. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. And that's another thing too. I'm going to say this to you directly as well, conductor. If there is something that you want to see and do, as I said, we could always, break off if you have to go. If your virtual queue is up for shopping, go. We'll meet back up for like whatever else we want to do. Yeah, don't let that stop you from something that you want to do. And also, again, it may be something that I want to do, but yeah, that's kind of like the unfortunate thing that you have to kind of pick and choose at times, because there are certain things that will overlap, and you have to finally go when they release the schedule. You have to like literally look at. So what I like to do is I like to pick all the things that I want to do first, and then I look at the times. And if there's certain things that overlap, it's like, okay, between this, and this, what do I want to see most? If I can't get in, what is my second plan of attack? It's this one.
100%.
Let's see. We also have, Give me a second here, folks. We got another super chat. We got Mouseword Bond for $6.99. Just based on the information that has been released so far, what is the one thing you're looking forward to the most for this year's D23? Conductor, I'll let you take that first.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the parks panel because the studios I kind of feel I'd botch it, so I'm just gonna go straight to the heartbeat of the D23 event. I'm gonna go to the parks panel. One thing I would love to see that has been heavily controversial ever since they announced it back in 2024 from Bob Iger himself during a what was it, earnings call? Or
for which one are you referring to?
Avatar.
For Avatar. I think it was the earnings call. If not, it was one of the if it's not an earnings call, it was for the
shareholders.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, it was announced back in 2024. And, you know, since there's so many...
Oh, it was 2023, actually.
Okay, well, 2023, that's even worse.
Yeah, because I think, even more. That's worse. Yeah, because it was when it was his first one back after the fire Chapek.
Yeah. Okay, that's even worse. So, personally, for me, I would like to see more detail about Avatar. And actually, to go a step further, if they want to do a scale model, like a updated version of it, I would be okay with that, to see it on the convention floor. But what I would really like to see is something like probably many of you see on X all the time from Bio Reconstruct. I would like to see that type of artwork from Disney and kind of give us an overall view, like an aerial view of what Avatar is going to look like in the Hollywood backlot area and how it's going to fit in to that area. I think we need that type of detail because right now, as of this morning, when I looked on social media, and again, I take everything I read on social media with a grain of salt unless I could put fact behind it. I will tell you, there was something I read where someone posted, I think it was from KTLA 5, which is pretty reputable. They said a former Imagineer was concerned that they might be delaying the Avatar news, like more detailed news about it, because they're still not 100% sure they want to put in the Hollywood backlot, even though they keep saying they want to put in that location. But a former Imagineer told KTLA 5 that information. So I don't know what's going on. So I definitely want clarification on that. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got Jacob Weller in the house. Welcome in, Jacob. And then we have, of course, the man who did it all, Mr. Jason Hill. George is right. They do show some new things on Sunday morning.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's some clarification. But again, Jason, thank you so much for everything. Honestly, we could not have done it without you.
Absolutely.
And,
and you got another super chat. It's the latest one. So if you want to read that.
Got another one? Okay, let's see.
Peter said it was from Jim Shull. That's who said that.
Oh, okay.
To KTLA 5.
All right, so only Cetheris once again gifted at $4.99. Thank you so much. How does the virtual queue work for the panels and shopping? I've heard it's done on the Disneyland app, but you can go into more details about the process. Well, again, thank you so much for the super chat and great question. Yes, so I do remember. Now, again, things might change from time to time because maybe as they update, they may do it on the D23 app this time. But yes, it used to be. I remember because when we were at the D23 day at Disneyland, I was with Mondo and Danny from Five Fires, and people were going into the Disneyland app to get ready to join, to get ready for the virtual queue for the next day, because Friday morning is going to be the most packed time people are going to go for the merch, because that's when everything is on the shelves.
Yep.
That's when people go and they rummage through it and they buy 10 they buy 5 things of this, 5 things of that, 10 things of that, and then you all see it on eBay in 15 minutes later.
Oh, you will.
Quadruple the price, but which is unfortunate. But so yeah, they used to so far they may still do it again, but that they would have it on the app. And that's how usually how the virtual queue is, more so even like if you're doing like a ride at Disneyland. So you're basically, your finger just has to be on the button or refreshing and claim for how many people are going to, be with you going in. So they can do a count as to how many people are going in, because they can only fit so many people at a time.
Well,
Oh,
it's interesting you mentioned that, because we did something very similar to that at the studio for the Christmas event. And
yes.
thank you, by the way, that was awesome. Where they had a special store. It was a pop-up tent store, but it was still a store, and we had to join a virtual queue for that store. So I'm hoping they actually do it this way for D23, so they don't have a mob come in there with about 500 people and you can't even grab stuff off the shelves. I don't like that. One thing I will tell you is, if I was in charge of merch on the floor, especially for the first day, first of all, I would make sure by May, and I'm being serious, I'm not making this up, but by the month of May, that they would have more than plenty, and I mean more than plenty, of clothing, plushies, keychains, collectibles, all that stuff, like mass produced it.
Well, and that's the other issue too, when I just had mentioned about like how many people will be joining at a time. Now I'm just going to use us as examples.
Sure.
Even though we're not going to do this, but I'm just going to, for the sake of my theory and statement, I'm going to use us. So say you get a virtual queue, you add yourself in, me, Abby, and just say Jason. Jason will be with us.
Yeah.
So that's 4 of us. So we go in and they say you're only allotted 2 of the same item per person per transaction. Well, say you grab two of the same items, grab 2 of the same items, grab 2 of the same items, and then I'm grabbing 2, I'm grabbing 2, I'm grabbing 2, then Abby grabs 2, grabs 2, grabs 2, Jason grabs 2, grabs 2, grabs 2, but we're all going to do individual transactions.
Yeah.
We're walking away with quadruple the amount of items.
True.
That we would all be. So again, and I know Disney or D23 or the Anaheim Convention Center doesn't really have full control over it, because it's such a lot of people, and you can't keep track of it, and you have to get people in to get them out to bring more people in. But I think that's what a lot of strategy people are doing, those heavy hitting eBay sellers. They're bringing in groups of themselves in small groups, but pretending like they're not with each other, and they're doing individual transactions.
Well, then I hate to even say this, and I don't want to be someone that's negative, but I think instead of two of the same item per person, it should be 1 item per person. Like, I mean, like, if you want to grab like 10 items, that's fine, but you can only have 1 item of that. You know, like, let's say I want to get a D20, it says D23 and it's a colored shirt.
Right.
And it's D23 themed. Okay. I can only get 1 of those. And then let's say I want to go get like a little mini D23 backpack. I can only get 1 item of that, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So in all reality, it kind of lessens it more for those eBay sellers, and that's it. You know what I mean? And they can only go in that store 1 time per day and buy 1 item, or 1 of the same item per day. You know what I mean? Instead of buying 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30, because that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. We saw it when we got the Mickey Fun Wheel at DCA. You can kind of see it over my shoulder on my dresser over here. We were at Storytellers. Again, amazing restaurant at the Grand California. If anyone has never been, phenomenal buffet style. The food is just incredible. So I literally had this thing on the table. It was funny as hell. I literally had this on the table. It was lit up, and I had every single character, including Humphrey, come over and play with it. It was hilarious. But then as content creators, we look on social media, kind of keep up on the news, and we saw one guy. He was at DCA, and this guy probably had maybe about 30 of those in bags walking down Hollywood Boulevard. And we started looking, and then the cast members started coming over because they're like, we haven't seen that yet. Where'd you get that? Like, we had a whole bunch of cast members that worked in the restaurant come to our table and asked us that. And then, we started talking. And then at some point, the conversation turned to, oh, you want to see something interesting? Look at this guy. And we showed them on my phone. And they're like, that is disgusting behavior. Disgusting behavior. And that's some of the things that Disney needs to stop. And I get it. Some of these people, they do it for a living, but it's like you're kind of ruining it for everybody else. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell you how many cast members came up to our table wanting to buy one of those. And because that one guy or several guys went in there and bought 30 of them just to go on eBay and sell them for like triple the price, it ruins it for the cast members. It ruins it for guests that come later that day that couldn't make it in the morning. You know what I mean? It's just horrible.
I agree. Yeah, and they always say you're only allotted for 2, and I don't know how he ended up with 30. But again, I think it's in numbers. When you have like a group of people and they all disperse out, that's how they end up getting them all. To your second part of the question, for like the panels. So when it comes time for the panels, again, if you have purchased D23 tickets, or you're going to have a ticket in your name, remember, folks, also too, transfers for badges starts this Monday, April 6th, and runs to July 10th.
Yes.
That's your allotment time. So if you bought badges for other people, that's going to be in your party starting on Monday. That's when you could start the process by putting the badge in their name. However, just know when you put their badge in their name, all the badges, when they send them out on July 13th in the mail, they're going to come to you, the original buyer. But it will be in their name after you do the transfer, but all the badges are going to go to you. So just also keep that in mind. That's another pro tip. And also July 10th, the opening day of Moana live action in theaters. Just had to throw that out there. You're welcome, Disney.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for the panels, starting on July 20th, that's when they'll start sending out emails for people who have bought tickets, have their badges and what have you. And that's when you can randomly try to get prioritized seating for certain panels. As far as I know, I don't know if they're going to add any extra virtual queue for these panels. If not, then it's just by the wish of luck. If you happen to be at the right place at the right time inside the line, as I said, get there early if it's something that you really want to do. Majority of the times there were like 1 or 2 panels that I had priority seating. The rest I did standby. I was able to get in them. But then again, as I said, I was there early. As I said, for the Aladdin 30th anniversary, I did the standby. I went early. For the Simpsons panel, I went early because I didn't have any. I didn't get any of the like the raffle things. I'm not sure if they had them for that year yet. Because I went to every single D23, so it's interesting.
Kind of talking about the parks panels and because me actually do this because you've actually said be true D23 all the way back to 2009 when D23 first started. You actually figured out over time that it is a lot easier to take Uber from the convention to Honda Center and Disney's transportation, because Disney's transportation could be literally a nightmare. Can you clarify on that?
Yeah. There. I remember, like, people can take the shuttles and everything, and people get there on time and what have you.
Sure.
But I remember, like, I told OG, I said, we're taking an Uber. I'm not messing with the shuttles. I'm not messing with that traffic going in and out. So what I like to do is I don't even like to get the Uber from the convention center.
Okay.
If you are staying in a nearby hotel, go to your hotel and get the Uber.
Okay, smart.
And I do want to ask, if you're still in the chat, the only C theorist, are you attending D23? Did you happen to get tickets? Let us know.
John asks, will you guys schedule the Uber? Yeah, we'll schedule it more than likely, or we'll just call one, because I have a feeling like around like venues like the Honda Center, Angel Stadium, Disneyland, Universal, I kind of feel like the trying to get an Uber, you could either schedule it or you could just call one, and they're pretty quick, because they usually like to stay in high trafficked areas. So I don't think we're going to have much of an issue trying to call an Uber, but we might try scheduling Ubers as well. It really honestly depends what's going on at that current moment.
Absolutely. And just so you know, folks, I am still going to get through the chat here. I greatly appreciate your patience. You guys are just having some great questions and everything, so it's working. Yeah.
Definitely.
So and Abby gifted 5 people Hollow Gelato membership. So I'm not sure who got the membership, but
thank you, Abby.
Yes, whoever did.
The only theorist, he commented, it's the latest comment if you scroll to the bottom.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll down.
And he said, yes, I did get D23 tickets. It was quite chaotic. I'm going all 3 days for the convention center, 1 day for the Honda Center.
Okay. So for the 1 day at the Honda Center, are you doing Saturday? Is that the is that the park? Let us know.
And then Peter says, best place to go to during D23 weekend is the Grand Cali. All the celebrities are over there, so they're all staying at the Grand Cali. That's interesting. I would honestly think the Grand Cali and maybe the Westin. Oh, there she is.
And speaking of the hollow to the gelato,
there she is.
Special appearance.
Love it. But yeah, I would honestly think the Grand Cali and probably the Westin is where the celebs would stay at, because two really high-end hotels.
Yeah, probably honestly the hotel that's literally right next to the convention center, or if they don't have any presentations at the convention center and they're just due for the Honda Center, they may put them up at a higher end of hotel near the Honda.
Yeah.
And we got Kev on the go. The Westin is my hotel. All right, Kev.
There we go. Big bucks. Big bucks.
Let's see. And John Make It Rain says, outside of the parks panel, what tends to be the most popular booth at the convention?
Oh, George would know that. Ooh. He has to think about it, because there's
I think all the booths are very popular. Like, you have like a number of people, like you have people going into the cruise line booth. But I think you as I mentioned, the Lucasfilm thing, but I still think Imagineering, I think, is like the top dog.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah. So the only C theorist, I was only able to get Friday for the Honda Center. I do wish I was able to get all 3 days for the Honda, maybe next time. Yeah. It's a bummer you didn't get it, but I'm so glad you were able to get something just like Dragon Blood, because it's very hard. It's very slim pickings. So I think for anyone to get anything nowadays, I remember when you could just jump on the website 2 days before the event and buy a ticket and you're going. you know. Although I will say this will be my first D23 actually being out here in California. I usually have to fly out to these things.
Oh,
so I'm already going to be here. So
nice.
Well, and that was always a stress thing and a half, because then I'm like waiting to get on my plane and I'm like, please don't give me no delays, no issues.
No, you
I had to
oh God. Oh,
and this is also going to be Abby's first time at D23, the Ultimate Fan. So what's your most anticipated, either at the convention, at the Honda?
My most anticipated is, I really do like the studios panel. I like seeing like the previews and hearing the news about what's going to come out on theaters, because I do love watching movies. And that's why we do so many out of theater reactions, because we love going to the movies. And then of course the parks panel.
Yes.
And I do want to see this year's Legends, because the really nice lady is getting inducted as a Disney legend, Miss Susan Egan. The first time I saw her and she complimented my outfit, I did not know who she was. I just said she was such a nice lady. And then the second time we saw her, I told her I did not know who she was the first time. And then she thought, it's okay. She hugged me. So I think it's going to be great to see her get inducted as a legend, because
that's awesome.
I went from not knowing who the hell she was to apologizing and getting a hug from her. So
yeah, and, so she got a hug to a future Disney legend.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. And then Jacob Weller said, where was it? Was it stressful to get your it was absolutely stressful. Thank God for the angel in heaven, Jason Hill, saving the day. Because if it wasn't for him,
I know if it wasn't for him, I would have been screwed, because it wouldn't have been relied on me. I think if it was just the two of us,
it wouldn't have been.
I think we would have gotten Friday and Sunday. I still don't think we were going to be able to get Saturday.
Saturday wouldn't have been. Probably not.
And then John Make It Rain asked this. Oh, okay. So do they bring any magicians or hypnosis to this event? As far as I know, I've never seen any magicians or hypnosis. However, if you do want to see some magicians or hypnosis, go on a Disney cruise, because I actually got hypnotized on a Disney cruise.
Oh, boy.
And it was, I don't remember it because I was under hypnosis, but apparently for the people in the audience, they said I was very entertaining.
You're not catching me do that. I'll film you doing that, but you're not catching me doing that. Nope.
Yeah. Something about that, I was like shoving paper towels in my shirt.
Wait, what?
That was like one of the things. I don't know. It was like,
oh my God.
Nope.
Let's see. Do they show food that will come to the parks in the future? There are times where they will showcase certain things that maybe is like for like an event or a special promotion kind of thing. They don't like heavily do it, but like they may showcase small things here or there that, like, if they're announcing something, like I know when they showed for the 70th anniversary, they kind of like very briefly showed like some of the foods that were part of the 70th. So they may do it in that format. Also, another fine tip: if you are hungry and you want to get something to eat, please go outside and support the local food trucks. It helps their business. The food is really good. I get it. It's pricey, but all food trucks are. Do not, and I repeat, do not waste your money on the convention center food. It is disgusting. Disgusting. Not D23. Disgusting.
You broke it down pretty good.
Thank you.
You won't catch me doing that, because I'll tell you what. I've had some pretty awesome food from food trucks. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm very excited to see what food trucks get permitted to be at the convention this year. I can't wait.
Absolutely. And Kev, I completely agree. Nothing beats the 2015 Imagineering Pavilion where you entered the recreation of the Imagineering building. Yeah, that was really cool. It was so well done. What like an entrance way to enter in through the pavilion. I think out of all the WDI pavilions, yeah, I agree. I think 2015's was the best.
Wow.
I think.
And then perfect.
Sean Narani says, I think when Marvel became a part of the convention, it started to become harder and harder after each time. That's a very good point. I like that because then you started getting all the Marvel fans.
Mhm.
And then even the Star Wars fans. You get all the diehard people that are coming in.
I honestly think D23 and I think Comic-Con, both.
Yeah, Comic-Con's getting harder and harder to get tickets with.
And I think D23 wants to get to that level of Comic-Con.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, I mean, they're already starting to, but I think they want to like get like beyond Comic-Con. They want to beat Comic-Con.
Mhm.
They want to taste their blood.
Mm.
Anyway, so
wow.
Giant Peter Adventures. I can just imagine George's family waving goodbye to him, wishing him D23 luck at the airport. Yeah, pretty much. It was like, because I used to get up super early in the morning, like at 2 a.m., like make sure I was out at the airport. And what was really cool about traveling out here for D23, I will say there is some memorable moments being out of state coming over for D23. Sometimes, not all the time in the Pittsburgh International, but whatever my connection flight was, whether it was in Dallas or Denver, chances are if people were flying into California at that time, they were going to D23. So there was a slew full of us that were all in Disney bound and Disney attire, getting on the plane. So we got to sit next to each other. So the time like flew by. And we got to talking and everything. And actually, she's not wearing it right now, but I made bracelets. And it actually says, I think the Disney Italiano and Mickey Mouse. I gave them both to Abby because it was the year that I actually met her in person. And I gave them to her. But I actually made those bracelets on the plane to D23 with the person I was sitting next to. She used to work for Disney in marketing. So she was going over, to experience D23. She no longer like worked there anymore, but she does this hobby where she makes bracelets and she has like the little letters and the little beads and everything.
That's cool.
So in and out of consciousness while I'm trying to sleep, she asked me if I would want to make some. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I did one for Mickey Mouse. I did the colors, red, black, yellow, white.
That's so cool.
And then I did one for me, the Italiano. So I used the red, white, and green colors for the Italian flag and everything.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I love that.
So the only Sea Theorist, do you collect the RSP limited edition pins from D23? Are they worth it? I have to say the pins look badass. They look cool. Now I do know people who bought the ultimate preferred seating tickets were able to get these part of their ticket package.
Yes.
As far as I know, I don't think that they released them yet for regular purchase. If they do, I don't know if you're able to buy them individually or if you could buy them as a set, or they may be holding out and this may be an item to actually purchase in the convention center. Yeah. But I have to say, they do look really cool. We do love pins. We do collect them, but we're not like a pin hunter, if you will. Like we won't like, if we happen to see a pin that we really like, then we're like, you know what, we feel it. Let's get it.
Exactly.
We won't like
I
scout for them.
I used to be a huge pin collector, like a huge one. I still have my little book and whatnot, and I have a lanyard full of them, but I've kind of backed off because it's like it's hard to display them. You know, I guess you could get a shadow box and put them in individually, but it's kind of hard to do so. But if I see some cool ones, I'm not gonna lie, I probably pick some up. But I'm not hardcore like I used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Ryan C. Vlog says, I will be on the Disney Dream at this time next Friday.
Ooh.
Not jealous at all, Ryan. Not jealous at all. Well, actually, I guess I can't really say that because we're going to be on the Wonder in
You are.
Weeks.
less than 2 weeks, 10 days.
I'm
10
going
days.
to be jealous.
Yeah. So happy sailing travels, Ryan. Being on a Disney cruise is always the best. That's another thing that I think we're going to be hearing a lot at with the parks panel, because they're going to have to do a lot of fill-ins, but I think we're going to get some big news coming from DCL.
I think so. I 100% think so.
And Jacob Weller says, did George go shirtless for the ladies underneath hypnosis? Okay, well, Jacob, here's the question for that. I can't really answer that because I was under hypnosis. However, I did go shirtless without being under hypnosis. And for all of you who don't know the story, this was on a Disney cruise. This was in the Adults Club, and it was with a good friend of mine who I met on the Disney cruise, and he and his wife, they basically kind of adopted me into awesome. Just to kind of stay with them and have fun at the clubs and everything. So we were playing this game, and they give you a random song, and you have to reenact something that kind of like portrays that song. So it was he and I's turn to do it, and they just randomly picked a song, and it was a song "Pour Some Sugar on Me" by Def Leppard.
Oh, geez.
And we're like, okay, if we're going to go big, we're going to do this. So in the club, they have like a little stage where, they hold where like the master of ceremonies goes and everything. He said, okay, we're going to storm the stage. And he said, we're going to rip our shirts off. And like, we're going to twirl them in the air and throw them out into the audience. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? So the song played, we stormed the stage, we ripped off our shirts, and we had the crowd going. Although I will say it's nothing like Glen Powell in a towel. Nope. But so
I'm sure you did. Jeez Louise. Mouseword. Oh, go ahead.
John Make It Rain asked, you conductor, did you see Project Hail Mary yet?
So actually I did. I saw it a couple days ago. I actually got lazy though. I went to lunch first, and then I went to go eat, or I went to go see it. It was definitely an interesting movie. I'm not sure like if I got the full gist of it, but it was very interesting. I will say that. Yeah.
And Mouseword Bond, thank you for refreshing my memory. I do remember David Blaine coming out at the Honda Center because they gave us, I wonder where that pack went. I might have it still in my backpack.
Did they give like cards?
It was a pack of cards. That's cool. We each got a pack of cards, and he actually did the trick with us. And oh my God. And we were like holding the trick in our hand, and we were like, oh my God, how'd he do that? Like, wow. We just performed magic in our hands. Thank you, Mouseword Brown. I completely forgot about that. That was during the studio's presentation because he had a special on Disney Plus. So he came out to promote that special. That's right. I forgot about that.
Interesting. Let me see. Mouseword Bound also had a comment. They said, I was very surprised that there wasn't any merchandise available for purchase at checkout when buying tickets. No water bottles, t-shirts, hats, or lanyards, not like previous years. So previous years, you can actually buy D23 merch when buying the tickets?
Yes.
Really?
So 2 years, and this is actually the first year that they haven't done it. Yeah, they used to, when you were in the checkout, you can do it as an add-on. They used to have like a little D23 backpack or water bottle or pin. You could either buy them like individually, like of how many you want, or you can buy it as a set, which was like a couple $100. But yeah, this
that's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the t-shirt, because I have the t-shirts from previous years. I'm surprised they didn't do it this year.
Wow. Interesting.
Giant Peter Adventure says David Blaine is insane. The frog down his throat trick was wild. Yeah, I remember having a frog down my throat for many years, but after I saw in the divorce papers, it was all gone. But you're welcome.
see what you're doing? Don't do that. Don't do it.
And then Peter says, I still want to do Mickey's of Glendale at Imagineering. We were able to do Mickey's of Glendale at Imagineering. Great store. Great, because there were some items that actually Conductor actually liked from there. I have a couple polo shirts that say like Wed Enterprises and stuff like that. So that's where you're able, and that's the kind of stuff that they'll have at the convention center.
And that's what I'm going to aim for, because if many people don't know what WED means, that's what the Imagineers were called back in the day when Walt Disney himself was alive. So I definitely want to get that because I love wearing polo shirts.
Oh, absolutely. I do too. I love polo shirts. I love button shirts. I love Hawaiian shirts.
Yes.
Sometimes I like to go without a shirt, that's, yeah. Anyway,
oh my God. Wow.
I told you, man, I have no shame.
No, you don't. No. You don't. Nope.
Oh gosh. Does anyone else in the chat have any questions? Throw the chat. I love these questions because these are very important questions to know.
Okay, let me ask you, because me being someone that's going to be going for the first time, trying to think. Oh. Yeah, I know. The ex-wife jokes are funny. Don't get me wrong. We did get some more updated information. I'm going to see if I could try to find it, if I can find it, about what is going to be allowed into the convention center and what's going to be allowed into the Honda Center. If you want to just clarify for anybody going for the first time that may not know.
Yeah, so we ended up calling D23 the day before tickets went on sale for us. So it was on April 1st. And I had Conductor on. We were on StreamYard. And I put the D23 member on speakerphone so he can hear it too. And that was actually his Conductor's question to her. And she said that from what she has known, that the Honda Center is very strict on what you can bring in. And that is very true. I had a chain that was connected onto my wallet. That's like a hook-on chain.
Oh, yeah. I used to have one.
Yeah. They had to remove it.
What?
My wallet, my black leather wallet that you see, the one that doesn't shut.
Yeah.
That had a chain, a thick chain to it that was a clip-on. Honda Center had to remove it because they said that is
a weapon.
That falls under their guidelines that it could be used as a weapon.
Oh, geez.
So,
God.
Yeah, they're very strict at what you can bring in. So because Conductor was asking a lot, like for like recording stuff, like obviously not like a selfie stick or what have you, but like a little mini tripod or his mics or what have you. But she kind of hesitated with that and said, like, I don't really know, because the Honda Center and the Convention Center run completely different. So.
Well, it's interesting you asked that, George, because John Make It Rain actually asked a comment. He said, is the security for this event the same as the Disney events?
Yeah, so when it comes to D23, a lot of the security is coming from the Convention Center. The security is coming from the Honda Center. So you're not dealing with Disney security. And also, too, even when you're in the Convention Center, when you see people walking around, there are many different workers that are working there. You have the D23 team members, but you also have the Anaheim Convention Center employees. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying it to call them out or bash them or anything, but this is just from my experience of dealing with it all these years. The Anaheim Convention workers know absolutely no deep information on D23. So if you happen to see Anaheim Convention team member and say, hey, I'm looking for the Disney Cruise Line Pavilion. Where is that? Don't ask them. They're like a deer with their heads caught in the headlights. So it's unfortunate because a lot of them are volunteer workers too, that they bring on for the weekend. So yeah, make sure if you have any D23 questions or concerns or what have you, go to a direct D23 team member.
Absolutely. And then the only he said, do you plan on making a video while you're at the convention center, somewhat like a vlog? So actually, that's a amazing question. I'm going to do my absolute best to try to do a vlog, and I'll probably try to do some shorts, maybe sprinkle in some members only content as well. But I'm at least for theme park conductor, I know George will probably do it too. I'm going to try to do a vlog on the showroom floor.
Yeah, I am going to as well. I know we'll probably be restrictive of our equipment that we can have with us, but we will do our best to give you guys as much as we possibly can. If some of the audio may not be to what you guys are used to, it's because if we weren't allowed to take our mics, that's why. So you may be getting like the extra feedback, but hey, you guys will be right there with us, and any news, any breaking announcements. Also, we will be doing lives back at our hotel when we come back. So definitely stay on the button when it comes to our content, because literally when we are out of the Honda Center, we're getting in our Uber and we're coming back and we're going to talk about it.
And I'm going to sleep.
And she's going to sleep.
Or at least try to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's see. And so Peter says chains can be sharp, especially too for people who might be on wheels. Like I saw a pin cushion in a parking lot of Dodger Stadium last week. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
And John McRain says, is it too late to get a single day ticket for one of the normal days?
Like not Honda Center, but tickets for like the convention.
I think the convention. Is there anything open for the convention?
Well, I'm going to look right now because I'm on the website, and I'll share my screen. We'll take a
As
look.
I told you, folks, you know we're on it.
Let me see. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. Yeah, so I'm, you know, why this is loading, I'm going to probably call D23 or have George do it since he's such a veteran at it anyway, and find out if we can bring at least mics in there, like the little mini mics. The handheld tripod may or may not be an issue. I'm not 100% sure yet. But I'm going to at least try to get the mics in there.
See, why couldn't it go that fast for us yesterday?
Yeah, it would have been nice. So
it's not everyone's trying to go at the same time.
Exactly. So what would I hit? The D23
so you would hit the D23 fan pass, and then there's also the afternoon pass, which I believe that's what Dragon Blood got, which the afternoon pass, if you get that one, that is only active from 4 p.m. on.
Okay, so the 3-day access to the convention center sold out. Single day access, Friday is still available. Saturday is sold out, and Sunday is available. So Friday and Sunday are available.
Okay. So you can get Friday and you can get Sunday for the all day at convention center, and then the afternoon.
We're going to look. Okay, all three are available.
All three are available. So if anyone is still wanting to get tickets just to go for the afternoon only, as I said, it would open to you at 4 p.m. and it'll close at 8 p.m. So you have 4 hours in the convention center a day. You could, or just one of the days. It is all open for the 3. Or if you want the D23 fan pass, as conductor said, Friday and Sunday are available, but not Saturday. I mean, if it was me, what I would do, I would buy a D23 fan pass for Friday. a D23 fan pass for Sunday, and then for Saturday, I'd buy the afternoon pass.
Yeah, that's what I would do, because it's funny you mentioned something like that, because quite frankly, I didn't think Saturday would sell out. The one day I would think that would sell out for single day access would be Friday, knowing that it's the first day of the convention, knowing that everyone's going to run to Mickey's of Glendale and the studio store and all that.
I agree with you. I've seen it in the past. I'm really surprised for the convention that Friday did not sell out before Saturday.
Yeah. I wonder what Saturday is holding on to. That's why it sold out so quick. I'm wondering why.
I wonder if people are banking on, in case they do live stream the park presentation at the convention center, they're in there. I'm wondering if that's...
Yeah. You know what? Actually, we didn't even click on this. I want to see event details. Okay. Let me see if I can make it bigger for everybody that doesn't have laser eyes and can see a million miles away like I can't. It says event details. Friday D23 Ultimate Fan Pass includes a seat for the Friday evening presentation at the Honda Center and same-day access to all experiences and shopping at the Anaheim Convention Center. This is what I really want to read, because they might clarify stuff. D23 Gold members must... Okay. Who gives a hell about that?
Really quick before you read on, Abby just wanted to make her her cameo today, but she's gonna head. Well, you gotta go. Come there. You go.
There she is.
She's gonna head back into the chat, folks. So you will see her in the chat.
See you guys.
See ya, Abby. Good to see ya. I'm just trying to see if it says anything about, oh yeah, no filming, no this, no that. Oh,
John, Make It Rain. Are you guys going to be on the floor of the convention center for all 3 days and do the booth? The booths change for each day. Great questions, John. Yes, we will be on the floor for all 3 days. And the booths, the only way that the booths change, and I mentioned this earlier, I'm not sure if you were in the chat at the time, that specifically for the Walt Disney Imagineering booth or area, that for Friday and Saturday they may have certain things blocked off that you can't see because they're surprising us after the park's presentation at the Honda Center. So on Sunday, when you go to the showroom floor and you go to the pavilion for WDI, whatever they had covered will be uncovered after Saturday. So things will change like that, but they won't completely remove booths and replace them with something completely different. Whatever is there, that's what's going to be there all weekend.
Well, that's something that I would probably do Sunday, going into the convention center, running to that booth or that pavilion, because I'm very curious on what it's going to look like in there. Maybe I'll do a before and after picture. Like before, I'll take pictures. After, I'll take the same pictures, but it'll be different.
That's what, that's, and I've actually done that with some of the recording where they had the Adventure World little model.
Really?
The little model, Adventure World, and they had an empty space. And no one knew what it was, but people had an idea it was going to be for the Lion King, because there was speculation. And then Sunday, when you went back in, there's the model, but then they added the Lion King into the model. And the Only Sea Theorist, would it be best to make a day of just shopping? And how does the standby lines work for shopping? I love collecting merch. Great question. So, I mean, you could do that. I mean, I do know a lot of people that they'll dedicate Friday just for shopping, because that is probably the pinnacle time when to buy something, because that's when all the shelves are stocked.
Yes.
But again, it depends on if you would have to sacrifice any panels or presentations or anything else on Friday. If you're cool with that, then yes, I would say, and you are heavily into buying merch, then I strongly suggest then doing that. What was the other part? Oh, the standby line. So in the very beginning, I don't know if they'll necessarily, they may have a standby line, but you're going to be probably waiting a probably majority of the day, because they're going to get, if they do the virtual queue, they're going to get the virtual queues in first, and then whatever is left during the day. So I honestly would shoot for the virtual queue, to be honest.
Same.
Let's see.
That's what I would probably do.
Let's see where. Oh, here we go. Do the tickets come with free admission to any of the parks in the evening? No. This is just for just D23. This is just for, depending on what kind of ticket you have, either just the convention or convention in Honda. If you are planning to go to D23 day at Disneyland the day before, you either have to have a ticket with a reservation on that day,
that's going to be,
or a magic key with a reservation that day.
That's
and that day will be August 13th is D23 day at Disneyland, the day before the first day of the convention. And then the day before that is the Angels game. And then they're basically doing like a whole slew full of stuff prior. They're doing I think like a D23 meetup kind of thing in the what was that building called? It's free for admission. Like you could just go and they have like, it's like a D23 meet and mixer kind of thing.
Is it on Disneyland property?
No, it's wait, I'm gonna go on. Come on, D23. It's in the Anaheim area. I just, for some reason, I forget what it's called.
If anyone knows in the comments, please comment on that, because I'm clueless on that. I'm not privy to that information.
It is.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if.
Are you? Oh, the packing district.
The packing district.
Yeah, D23 night at the Anaheim packing district. That's going to be on August 11th.
Yes. I'm still unsure if I'm going to sign up for that or not, because we have a lot going on that week. Like George mentioned, the Angel game and me trying to get a golden Mickey statue. Then we got the parks D23 day, and we're going to be, I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're going to be all tired, because it's going to be me, George, and Abby. And I think even Jason Hill, because he's staying at a nearby hotel as well. Mm-hmm. We're going to be at the park, Disneyland, like at the crack of dawn. Like, I mean, like 2-3 in the, well, at least I am 2-3 in the morning. And I'm literally probably going to be one of the first people in line, because one of the things is they, from past history, they do give out a commemorative D23 Mickey hat, like Mickey ears, for everybody, and it's very limited. And it's first come, first serve. So I definitely want to get my hands on one of those, especially being that it's going to be my first year going to D23. So I definitely want to nab one of those for sure.
Absolutely. And then Sean Narani says, I was one of those people who signed up for Disney Plus at the D23 convention. I was too. That was the first thing I did. First day, I went to the D23 booth. I signed up. And essentially, I paid like a lump sum of money up front. I was able to get a D23, or not D23, Disney Plus pin. Nice. And I essentially had, I think it was like, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like buy 2 years, get the third year free, or buy 3 years, you get the fourth year. It was something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember, because that was the kickoff for Disney Plus.
That's crazy. I'm gonna keep going.
Yep. Maswar Bond said, are you planning on doing some kind of meetup the week of D23 or after? So no, that's something we actually have to discuss. We might be able to, if we can squeeze it in. I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no. Maybe after like we talks among ourselves if we can maybe plan something. We definitely will, and we'll definitely let you guys know ahead of time. I don't know if we'll be able to just because of everything that's going to be going on, but I will say, hit us up on our socials, on Instagram, on X, or even a message in YouTube or what have you.
Yeah,
and we'll meet up. We'll make it happen one way or the other.
And 100%, I agree with George. And if you see us, seriously, if you see us on the convention floor or the D23 day at the parks, please do not hesitate. Please come up to us, say hello, talk with us. We enjoy that. Yes. I could promise you we are not Bruce the shark from Jaws, okay? We're actually very kind people. We love to meet our fans, and I encourage everybody that sees us, well, mainly me, because I'll be next to George, but you can spot me off in the distance.
You'll spot Conductor before me, but when you spot him, you'll see me. So.
Exactly. So please come up to us. For sure.
Great question, Masorban. As I said, but if we are able to, we will definitely, obviously, we'll do a live. We'll put out on our social posts about it and everything if we're able to. But as I said, if not, we're still down to meet up somehow, some way, in any shape or form.
100%. And then John Make It Rain says, "What is the Mickey Golden statue?" I actually have the picture if you want to share my screen once again. Click on it. John, this is the Mickey statue right here. So it says the first 23,000 people at Angel Stadium to walk through the gates for the Angel game for D23, which will be against the Texas Rangers. Mass majority of people will get this statue, which is Mickey in a baseball jersey that says D23 on the jersey and the hat, and he's holding a little bat with him standing on some grass. And then this is the same one, but it's all gold, but they're only going to have 2,300 of this. So that basically means they are going to have 20,000 of the regular Mickey D23, but they're going to have 2,300 of the golden one. So I like George said right at the beginning, I finessed my way around Walt Disney World with some of the cast members, and I got some things that he didn't think I was gonna be able to pull off, and I did so. So you better believe I'm gonna, go back to work at Angel Stadium, and I'm gonna try my hardest to at least get a golden statue Mickey. I think that would be very cool to have in part of my collection. So we'll wait and see, but this is what the golden statue looks like. It's basically a clone of the regular one, but it's all gold.
There you go. And that is his goal.
Yes, it is by far.
Good gravy.
It is. It is. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of any more questions that as a first timer I'm thinking of. Okay, perfect. Since we kind of, dove into the subject about D23 day at the park at Disneyland, is there any special events, shows, merch, foods that they are going to have, or even photo ops they are going to have throughout Disneyland that people need to pay attention to?
So they do small little pop-up things like around Disneyland, DCA, and even Downtown Disney. Like they'll have like a little dance party, they have like a DJ kind of thing. They may have some specialty foods. I know that they'll have like a Disney Legends cavalcade. It's a little cavalcade. They'll bring some legends out on like the double-decker bus. Depending on where you're standing, you could see whoever is on your side, but it's still cool to see. Obviously, you'll probably have a lot of the big leaderships walking around the park. As I said, I was able to chase Tomorrow down Main Street 2 years ago. So who knows, maybe history will repeat itself, but instead of me chasing him as Parks chairman, I'm chasing him as CEO. what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, and that was also the time, and they may add some other extra specialty stuff in there because I believe that's also when they gave us a sneak preview of Story Time with Deadpool.
Yes.
That was for the day before D23.
100%. Peter actually mentioned that in 2 different comments at the bottom. He said they did the special Deadpool show, which was at DCA, I believe, if memory serves.
Yeah, it was at DCA.
Okay. And then he also said, I still thought that it would have been Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool costume.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
I wish they would have did that when they brought Deadpool out on stage.
Oh, dude, you imagine?
Like that would have been cool. Yeah, I don't think that having Ryan Reynolds pull off his mask right at the park, people would be like lunging, but I think if they did it like on stage at the Honda Center, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I think he would have. I think he wouldn't have got away with that.
Yeah. Is the studio panel presentation for the movie trailers and announcements at the Honda Center only, or is that a panel at the convention center? So the studio presentation is at the Honda Center only. So that one is the one that's more mysterious, that they don't really like to leak out any information because they show us first run trailers. They show us first run concept art, stuff that was never mentioned before. That's when they first announced Incredibles 3. Oh my God, the arena erupted.
Oh yeah.
When Pete Docter showcased the Incredibles 3. Oh. So they're very tight-nipped with that presentation, but there still will be other presentations, obviously, inside the convention center. But when it comes to like first run trailers or new movies and shows and stuff like that, that is strictly the studio presentation at the Honda Center.
100%. And one thing I kind of got the feeling of, for us being content creators and so many of us that will be there for the weekend, the one panel I will say out of the 3, the Parks panel, Legends panel, and the studios, if you are planning to go to the studios panel, if you have tickets, I'm not even going to chance it unless I know more information, but do not pull your phone out. Don't do it because they will like jump on you.
They have people literally walking up and down the aisles with flashlights.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And there have been people that got information leaked out before, but I mean, that's at your own risk. I don't recommend it. And you don't want to get on the bad side of Disney and D23 because.
Nope.
So Sean Narani says, I think it was buy 2 years, get the third one free. That's what I thought it was too. And I really like this. We might hear you, George, before we see you. See, that's the shirts that we need. You need to wear a shirt that says, you can see me, but I need the one that says, but you can hear me.
I like that.
Because they can see you a mile away, but they can hear me 10 miles away.
Kind of like a thing 1, thing 2 type.
Kind of, yeah. I think I'm going to get us shirts like that. I'm going to get those.
Oh, I like that. I do like that. John Make It Rain says, are you guys going to stay at a hotel during this? Or no, we are staying at a hotel. And for right now, I got to talk to George about it. But personally, I'm not going to divulge where we're staying at. But we are staying at a hotel nearby.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be best just to kind of like leave it at that, just for our own, thing. But yes, we are staying nearby, just like how like probably everyone is like at a Good Neighbor hotel. But yeah, we're very close by. It's just easier that way, to be honest with you. Then we have Tiffany Johnson in the house. Do you think we will get any announcements regarding Disneyland? Well, great question, Tiffany. And again, welcome in. Wow, that sun is like really bright. Regarding Disneyland, conductor, I'll let you take this one first, and then I'll.
Well, kind of going off subject, I think we're going to hear some updated information probably about Avengers, Avatar, Coco, the Eastern Gateway, maybe. For Disneyland, ooh, God, I don't.
That's the trick pony.
I don't think we're going to hear anything for Disneyland Park itself. I don't think. Now, when it comes to 2028, I'm almost certain we're going to hear something for the Disneyland Resort. You know why? Because in 2028, I'm going to predict it. I'm going to predict it right now. And it's 4 years in the making. I'm going to make this prediction. And you're hearing it first time from me. I think we're going to hear something about Tomorrowland at the 2028 panel, because 2028 will be the second half of the $60 billion that Disney promised to invest into its parks. So I honestly think we will hear something for Disneyland, but not until 2028. And I can almost bet you dollars to donuts it's going to be Tomorrowland. I don't see them pushing it until 2030. I don't see it. I don't.
I mean, yeah, that's obviously we're going to get news with, Walt Disney World with all the current, construction and updates and everything. We're going to hear more on DCA with Coco and hopefully Avatar. That's a whole nother tidbit. As I mentioned earlier, Disney Cruise Line, we're going to hear stuff from the international parks because Tokyo is going to be getting changes and expansion to their Adventureland, and also Tokyo Disney Sea, that harbor area. They're probably going to get rid of the Aquatopias, or I think whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So we're going to hear about that. We're probably going to hear about Shanghai's second park. The one thing that I think we might hear this year regarding Disneyland is a possible expansion or add-on to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, I forgot that one. That's a possibility. That's a possibility.
I think if we're going to get anything for Disneyland Park, because it has to be something that's already in the boundaries of the park itself,
like pre-development.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think now. I mean, they very well could go balls to the wall and say, "Hey, we're expanding out the park. This is what's going in the Lilo and Stitch parking lot." They very well could do that, or they could wait for 2028. But I think, if nothing else for Disneyland, I think possibly Galaxy's Edge, because they're going to kill two birds with one stone. And what is good for the goose is good for the gander. When they make that announcement for Disneyland, it's also going to mean an announcement for Hollywood Studios.
Exactly my point. And let me ask you this, since we're on that subject of Galaxy's Edge, because that expansion area could, not saying it's not impossible, but it could be a third attraction, or what I would like to see is the restaurant that the Galactic Star Cruiser got, because they already have the foundation for it. They already have the infrastructure for that space. Do you think it's possible?
It very well could be. I think it's either going to be a third attraction or that real big immersive sit-down restaurant that we were supposed to get connected to Oga's Cantina.
Yeah.
That's what it's definitely going to be. So John Make It Rain. No, it is off property. It's just part of like the Good Neighbor hotels. I think honestly, if you stay on property,
you're not.
I don't really think
you're not getting your money's worth. You're paying Disney to say I am staying on property, but I would say 90% of the time you're not even in the room. So it's not worth paying the high premium for it.
And then also to pay the high premium just to leave the resort and go to the convention center, I think is a waste. And honestly, it's more of a travel, to be honest with you. It's much easier just to kind of stay off property and, just go do your thing. Could some of that 60, billion be going to the new Shanghai? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely going to be part of the second Shanghai park for sure.
Definitely.
The only I can see for Disneyland is they're doing something like updating Space Mountain, like they did with Disney World Thunder Mountain Railroad. That's very true. That could be very true of yeah, like a deep immersive. Which if they do that for Space Mountain, that really should be the time that they make an announcement for Tomorrowland, because once they closed on Space Mountain, especially for that long, for over a year.
Yeah,
Tomorrowland and Disneyland is really going to be like,
yeah. I think Tomorrowland for me, I think 2028 will be the best option, because think about it, and DCA will be stacked. You'll have the 2 Avengers rides, you'll have Coco over there, and obviously you'll have some new restaurants and stuff in downtown Disney, and Avatar, hopefully by that time, maybe will hopefully break ground by then and start, building. It won't be open, but they'll start building, hopefully. But George, go ahead.
Oh, no, absolutely. Maswar Bond says, because the LA Olympics are in the summer of 28 and D23 will be celebrating their 20th anniversary in 2029. Do you think they'll delay the next? Wow, Mouse were bound with the question of the day. That is that is a good observation, because here's the thing.
They could.
Well, here's the thing. The D23, well, it's now the Ultimate Fan event, but it used to just be called the D23 Expo.
Yeah.
When it was conceived in 2009, the Expo happened every other year, but it was in the odd year. So it was 2009, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017, and 2019. 2019 was the last D23 Expo with an odd year, because we all know what happened in 2020. Yep. So when the whole world went into chaos and shut down and everything, they didn't do D23 in 2021. It delayed a whole year. So when they brought it back in 2022, it is now every other year, but an even number. So they very well could go back to an odd number. And you know what? I would commend Disney and D23 for doing that. If I actually think that is a really brilliant idea, I could see why they would want to do it in 2028, because while they're bringing in the Olympics and people are traveling in, what a way to get people to the convention center.
Yeah.
However, that is going to be a mess. It's already going to be a mess for the Olympics, let alone bring people down from LA to Anaheim.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, if Disney really was smart and played their cards strategically, I agree with you with that. I think let this be the last D23 Ultimate Fan event, skip to 2029, and you will have a slewful amount of news, because essentially you're blocking out 3 years of nothing. You can do small little things like Destination D just to kind of hold us at bay, but not like make major announcements. Make it go back to the oddball year, and also you could skip out on the Olympics. And as you said, the 20th anniversary of D23. That would be perfect.
That would be great. That would be fantastic. And Mouseword Bound too. Thank you for posting that comment, because that's genius. Now that really is 100% genius. Or they could go the other route, just stick to their plan, because 2030 would be another big year for D23. You know why? Because literally, I would honestly say by 2030, The Lion King might be close to opening for Disneyland Paris for Adventure World. Then on top of that, you also have they can go into broader detail about Magic Kingdom's 60th Diamond Celebration, which will be happening in 2031. We might see new images and updated concept art about Abu Dhabi if it's not open by then. We could see progress on the Shanghai Disney expansion. We could see 2 or 3 more ships from the Disney crew. There's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
And Sean Arani says, and this is another possibility too, that I don't think they will move it back a year to 2029, but they might put it in July instead of August, because the
Interesting.
The Olympics is in
June,
right?
I'm pretty sure it's in June.
Yeah. So, what do you think they would push it back a month that would make it closer to the Olympics? So, is that what you mean, Sean Arani? You mean like if they pushed it back to July, it would entice people to stay a little longer, that it would run from June and bleed into July? That's a possibility.
That's a possibility for marketing and stuff like that. I don't know, man, because it's gonna
it's gonna be a madhouse no matter what.
It's gonna be ugly. Ugly.
And John Make It Rain says, do you think Galaxy's Edge could be redone when they do Tomorrowland? No. They won't have both lands down. Because when they have Tomorrowland down, assuming that they do this, they're probably going to have the whole thing kind of blocked off. So they're going to want to entice people to go further away from that land. So if they have Galaxy's Edge going off the same time of Tomorrowland, I think that would be very I don't think that would be a good strategy.
Well, one benefit is whether it's going to be the third attraction or that interactive restaurant that the Galactic Star Cruiser had that we were supposed to get, they don't have to shut down all of Galaxy's Edge for that. So that's a bonus. But more than likely, when they're ready to make a Tomorrowland announcement, they will announce the final day of Tomorrowland, and they will block it off. Every entrance, exit, everything, scrim, the whole 9 yards, and you will see demolition vehicles and all that. And believe me, the second I start hearing information on that, I will be down there that morning recording it, because I will be a kid in the candy store and saying, yes, finally. Because I told George, it's the funniest thing. I told George why we're at Magic Kingdom. I walked into Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland, and I looked at George, I looked at Tommy, and I said, what in God's name is the Floridians complaining about with your Tomorrowland? Give me a break. Come over to the West Coast. Come visit our Tomorrowland and say that. Our Tomorrowland looks like a scene from, oh my God. What's that zombie series that they had on AMC that I'm not thinking of, that was at Universal for a brief time as a walkthrough attraction?
Walking Dead. Yeah,
that's what our Tomorrowland reminds me of. Abandoned buildings, you know, barely any life in it. It's not even, the land's not even used properly. I call it the land of the popcorn buckets, quite frankly. You can go in there, find all the popcorn buckets, find all the exclusive merch in the Starcade store, and that's about it.
And that's it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, I'm like, okay, nope, I'm good. Tell me when you bring the demolition trucks on site, and I'll wear a helmet. I'm ready.
Do you walk to the convention center or just take an Uber? I imagine the parking is a nightmare. So we will walk to the convention center. Yes. We will take Ubers to the Honda Center.
Yes.
And yes, for parking, like, I can't imagine for anyone trying to get with their own car.
Oh God.
I don't know. Like I don't know anyone who actually has done it. For sure, people who do it.
I'm telling you right now, D23 day is going to be the worst out of all of it. You're going to see the line go for miles. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to get ugly. It's going to be so bad.
Let's see. Sean Arani says the 2017 D23 Expo was in July. That is true. Yes, it was. Yeah, some of the D23s, some was in July. Majority of them were in August. I remember the first D23 in 2009 was actually in September.
Oh,
and I remember that expo was 4 days.
Oh,
I think that was, I can't remember if that was the only 4-day one, was the very first D23 expo. It was a 4-day.
Interesting. So Sean Norani actually posted a comment. She said actually the Olympics are July 14th through the 30th.
Yeah, and Abby said the Olympics are in July. So maybe, let's see.
Maybe they do D23 before the Olympics.
Yeah, so Williams 67 says maybe the next week after the Olympics. I'm wondering if they're going to wait for the Olympics to clear one way or the other.
Well, you have to think about it, though, because they have the regular Olympics, and then right after it, they have the Paralympics.
And when are those?
I don't know. I swore they were back to back, and if they are, that's going to just be more of a nightmare. So I would honestly think they would do it like the week before.
Yeah, so Giant Peter Venture says, I got tickets to the closing ceremony in Paris a few years ago, but did not make it due to it ending in September and my trip ending in July.
Oh, that sucks.
And this is what, yeah. So Sean Ryan says the 2028 Olympic, in July, and we'll probably keep it in August. Somehow I was thinking it was the first week of August. So yeah, so it's pretty much the summer of 28. I mean, going back to Mouseward Bound's comment, I don't know if, Disney might market that, or they may want to stay the hell away from it. I don't know. It can kind of go either way.
Maybe. And John Make It Rain says, does I'm going to fill in the gaps. Does Magic Kingdom have, or does Disneyland's Tomorrowland have more rides than Magic Kingdom Tomorrowland? Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not sure, because Magic Kingdoms has the People Mover. It has, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Astro Orbiter. It has the Carousel of Progress. That's 3 rides. Then they have Buzz Lightyear, which I think it's about to open or just opened. Then
I think they're doing a soft opening now.
Yeah, a soft opening. So that's 4 attractions. Then they have Space Mountain. Then they have Tron. Then they have Autopia. So they have 8 rides. Ours has Space Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, Autopia. 3 rides. So 8 compared to 3. Yeah. So I don't want to hear any more complaining from anyone else in Florida saying our Tomorrowland sucks.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the question of the day, because I know that this has been a debate for a long time. Is Carousel of Progress a ride?
I count it as a ride.
Or a show?
I count it as a ride and a show. You get the best.
I think it's like a mixed blend. That's why I call it an attraction, because I feel like that it's like partial ride because it is on a ride mechanism, but you're watching a show. So I think it's more of an attraction experience, I guess.
Okay, so actually, to be honest, I'll give John Make It Rain the benefit of the doubt. I won't say that was a ride. Just for his benefit, but still 7 against 3. And you tell me what the problem is.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then John Megarain says, are you guys going to dress up as any character?
George and Madame Lizelle last night and Abby were trying to get me to figure out a costume. Nope. And
here's the thing. I know a lot of people go all out at D23 because you can't dress up in the parks, but here you can go all out. You can even, I've seen people blend characters together. They'll take a character from Star Wars and blend it with a Disney princess.
That's true.
So it looks like Rapunzel is a warrior and stuff like that with a lightsaber. It's very creative of how people do it, and they end up like D23 takes group pictures and everything. I may do a costume, maybe not like as an individual character, but I was thinking of doing for like at least Friday, because that's like when everything is jumping, to kind of do like a play on kind of outfit that like screams Disney. So I'll probably come up with something. And so if I do, you guys will be the first to know about it. And then if you're there at the convention center, if you see me in the outfit, you'll be able to pick me out like a sore thumb. So let's see. Yeah, Mademoiselle said, yes, a costume.
Oh.
And then we talked ideas last night.
No, they talked ideas. I was stuck at the table. I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So no, there was no discussion. I was not part of that discussion.
Oh my gosh.
I just kept saying no.
And then William said 4. Buzz is at Disneyland.
Okay, so Buzz, Space Mountain, Autopia. And do you even really count the lagoon?
The subs?
Yes.
I think because it's still considered in Tomorrowland.
I count that more Fantasyland.
You count the subs for Fantasyland?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, so, okay, then what do you count Matterhorn?
Fantasyland.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Matterhorn, can kind of go... Yeah, because it's kind of like in the middle thing there.
If we're being realistic, you got Buzz, Space Mountain, you got Autopia, and you got Astro Orbiter. So you have 4. But still, we have a dead people mover track doing absolutely nothing. We have a Captain EO theater that's doing nothing. We have a big Star Wars launch bay doing absolutely nothing besides play hosting to DVC members. That's a small little lounge. And that's about it. Yeah. Our Tomorrowland needs help. Let's put it that way. I'm going to be very honest.
So, let me get in here real quick.
Abby, why are you doing that? I don't even... Oh, God.
Super chat for conductor to wear a costume at D23.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. You're all crazy.
So Mademoiselle actually sent me a link that's on Instagram right now. Now this could mean something or it may not be, but this is actually coming from KTLA 5 News. So because of Jim Scholl's comments that he did about possibly Utopia replacing Avatar, so now it's actually hitting the news feed.
Really?
So from KTLA 5 News, a former Walt Disney Imagineer's suggestion that a Zootopia-themed land might be better fit for Disney California Adventure than the Avatar experience, Disney has ignited a debate among fans online months before D23, the ultimate fan event, where Disney typically unveils major updates.
Let's take a look at that because that's let's see, where is that at? Because I actually saw the same story. Oh, here we go. I want to see if there is George. I wonder if the story's on X, because I want to dive into that a little bit. I want to find out. Let's see. I think Mademoiselle just sent it to me.
Yeah, she sent it in like a group thing.
Well, I want to see if there's an article, so I want to read it on X. So let me scroll through X real quick because it's on here. I just got to pull it up real quick. Here we go. I think here we go. Show more. I actually have the article, so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to read it to you guys because this is the article coming from KTLA 5. Here we go. And let me make the screen bigger so you guys can read it alongside with me. Okay, after closing all these wonderful ads that we desperately don't need. It says Disneyland, Zootopia versus Avatar, former Imagineers' comments fuels speculation among Disney fans. And again, this is credit to KTLA 5 channel news here in Southern California. A former Walt Disney Imagineer suggests that a Zootopia themed land might be a better fit for Disney California Adventure than the Avatar experience. Disney has announced has ignited a debate among fans online months before D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, where Disney typically unveils major updates coming to its parks worldwide. And the Imagineer that said it was Jim Scholl, which is a former retired Imagineer. And he actually put out a video on YouTube, on his YouTube page. So definitely go check that out. I'm definitely going to watch it after this live. But continuing, it says to understand whether a pivot is realistic, KTLA spoke with theme park creators and Disney fans. Carla, what does that say? Carla,
put the thing
right here.
Where's your cursor? I can't see. It's very small. Oh, Carly Caramana, something.
And Gavin. It says a theme park journalist and author of the unofficial Disney Parks Retro Cookbook said the rumor has legitimate legs. So it has movement on this article, noting that the large scale projects often involve behind the scenes. It says Disney has emphasized that the Avatar project is still in early development. Yeah, 3 years later. Sure it is. She said it's been more than 3 years since it was announced and details remain scarce. That opens the door for shifts based on audience demand and franchise performance. Disney first teased an Avatar experience for the Disneyland Resort in 2023. Following the success of Avatar: The Way of Water in 2024, Josh D'Amaro, the former chairman of Disney Experiences and current Disney CEO, said the land would draw from both The Way of Water and the third film, Avatar: Fire and Ash. And that's what the concept art looks like. It says concept images shared at the time suggest that the addition would include a water-based attraction. Fans' reaction has been mixed. Some welcome the blockbuster franchise, while others argue that a second Avatar-themed land wasn't exciting. Disney opened its first Avatar land, Pandora, the World of Avatar, at Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom back in 2017. The land is inspired by James Cameron's 2009 blockbuster Avatar. Since its opening, the land has been widely praised, with many visitors calling it a home run for Disney Imagineering. Still, the release of Zootopia 2 only intensifies the debate, with fans echoing Scholl's belief that the franchise could be a stronger match for DCA. For now, Disney has not announced any changes to the planned Avatar land. Well, at least KTLA 5's calling it a land, thank God. The project is expected to take over the area currently home to Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully to the Rescue, which Disney confirmed will remain open until 2027. So I have a hard time believing Thomas when he said it's not delayed. The attraction was originally slated to freaking Sam's Club. Slated to close this year. At the time, former Disney president Thomas Masloom said the Avatar project would proceed as planned and would not be delayed. Yeah, I find that hard to believe. Even though they didn't give us an opening date, to be fair to him, it is impossible to ignore that Avatar's third installment was a box office success while also diminishing since previous releases domestically, while Zootopia 2 significantly outperformed the original film, she said. And at the end of the day, with so many projects in motion at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, it's not surprising that simply could be a delay to stagger ride closures. Doyle found a Mickey visit. A Disney News and Planning resource also urged caution. I do not believe the delay has anything to do with the speculation of Avatar being canceled. Doyle said the delay of the closure was a smart move after they realized they could get another year out of the ride. Previously, it felt like they were closing the ride far earlier than they needed to. He added the construction logistics, including the need to complete the new parking structure and overpass walkway, limit how soon Disney can begin work on the site. The question of the thematic fit remains central to the fan debate. While Scholl argues that Zootopia would align better with Disney California Adventure, Doyle said neither franchise fits cleanly. While I agree with that Avatar doesn't fit organically into a theme park based off the dreamers of California and themed to classic Hollywood, I don't see how Zootopia fits any better into the park, he said. Disney California Adventure has made many moves in the past few years away from California part of the experiences, so much so that I don't think they judge the fit to the theme as much as how a new experience would enhance the park experience. Still, the decision to keep the Monsters Inc. ride open longer has fueled speculation amongst fans who are watching closely for signs of a shift. Looking ahead, both at both expected D23 to pivotal moment. I expect that we will get updates on all these new rides coming to Disneyland in the coming years, Doyle said. If they don't mention Avatar, it will be a far bigger signal that the project isn't happening. We know there are active plans for future additions to Disneyland Park as well. Perhaps we finally get some sort of Tomorrowland update. It says, agreed that the Anaheim Resort's long-term expansion will be a major storyline. I do expect Disneyland Forward expansion details to be a major piece of the news to come out of this year's D23, she said, since the potential Avatar land is the one we know the least about. I'm eager to learn more.
I mean, I do remember when Jim Scholl released his video, mentioning that, and people started, mentioning it on social media. But now it seems like it became like a much bigger
issue
conversation. It's stuck around, as it said in the article. It has legs now. That it is circulating of whether or not that are they shifting Avatar into Zootopia now. If they do that, that doesn't mean that they're going to completely cancel out Avatar. It's just reworking it in a different way.
Yes.
Either in a different part of the park or maybe not in DCA at all.
100%. 100%. And I know you pulled up some comments, so if you want to pull those back up and we'll read them together.
Let's see. So let's start with... Let's see. Here we go. John McRain says, I like Avatar, but I didn't like any of the concept art for the inside of the ride. I hope they change it to something more exciting. And then we got Hudson Thomas in the house. Welcome in. Zootopia will appeal more to children. And John McRae says, I like Zootopia too, but I don't think it can provide as much of a punch as an Avatar ride. And then John McRain continued, if they do an amphibious or reptile portion, they could add a small Zootopia dark ride inside of a side by the Avatar land.
Possibly. And to answer Shane Narani's comment, I'm telling you, conductor, go as blue shirt guy. It's the simplest costume. Okay, that one I might pull off. That one I might pull off because it's Ryan Reynolds. That one I might pull off. Just saying. You have to wait and see on that one. But for many of you, I'm not going to play the video because it's 20 minutes long. But this is Jim Scholl's page on on YouTube. Definitely go check it out because this is him talking about Zootopia possibly replacing Avatar at DCA. It's a 20-minute video, and it was just posted a day ago. And I'm sure he has some interesting comments on there because it's already at 10,000 views. And he is a former Disney Imagineer. So I'm very curious to see what his insights are, just to let everybody know to go check out that video.
Because I mean, obviously, if an article was written for KTLA 5 and they're reporting on this, I mean, that's
do you think we should play it?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why don't we play it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. I just gotta unshare my screen because I gotta do it a different way.
Well, geez.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I promise. Okay. I think this will work. All right, go ahead, George.
Okie doke.
Let's see. Okay, let me unmute this and let me know if you can hear it. I'm gonna do this. Can you hear it or no?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Welcome to Disney Journey. Informed speculation is a useful term, and it applies to this video because on a recent visit to Disney
I'm going to
California
mute myself
Adventure,
and I'm going to watch
I
it on
looked at
my
the
phone.
status of the 4 major projects underway to reimagine that park. Now, there are works underway, but they're not set in stone. And in this episode, I'm going to tell you why.
It's possible you entered Disney's second gate back when it was called Disney's California Adventure. Today, it doesn't have the apostrophe. I wasn't part of the original project team, but I was part of the second one. And the goal of that project team was to make DCA an equal experience to Disneyland. And more or less it succeeded, I think. Today, there are 3 new projects underway, and they're all important. There's another project, a 4th one, and it's very important because the 3rd biggest project in DCA's expansion can't happen without it. But first, about casting.
Disney Imagineering designers are typecast. There are those who do Epcot, there are those who do Animal Kingdom, and there are those who do cute. I found myself in the cute category, and I think I did it well. To that end, as I look around DCA, I see that in the location that they have the Navis penciled in to occupy, well, the Navi are monumental, they're impressive, but cute they are not. Putting Zootopia and Bonnie and all the little cute furry animals in that location would check the cute box at DCA, a park that since opening day has really lacked cute.
In the interest of full disclosure, let me make clear that not everybody likes cute. We're not all hardwired the same, but the guests to Shanghai Disneyland really do like cute. And a large percentage of the people who go to Shanghai Disneyland go to see Zootopia Land. When that movie opened, the second one, it made over $100 million in one single day, which is remarkable. That's something that just doesn't happen. When the land opened, it was very successful and people flocked to it. They came to see the ride, to see the show, to eat, to shop, to wear the funny ears that they could buy. They liked it. They really embraced it. And you never know what's going to happen until it opens. You don't know if people are going to really like something. Now that we know that they really like something, in a perfect world, there probably is a desire for a larger Zootopia Land in Shanghai. But it doesn't really matter because as it applies to DCA, the question is, could it come to California Adventure? And honestly, yes, it can. Because right now, even though Avatar has been announced, the project is not gone any further than being lines on paper. I mean, very expensive lines on paper, but they haven't moved any bulldozers out. The same with the parking structure, which is part of the new entrance statement that Disneyland will have, which will be great when it opens. But there's a lot of work that has to happen in the meantime. The east side parking structure will have 6.
Let me ask you something, George, real quick, because I'm very curious on this. I'm gonna try to do something where I can actually hear it with you guys. Give me 1 second. But why
I'm
why
surprised you can't hear it.
yeah, it's weird. One thing I want to ask you, let's see. Okay, let me see if I can hear it.
6,000 parking spaces.
No, I can't hear it. Can you
Which
guys
is
hear it
added
or
to
no?
around 16,000.
Really? Let me
Yeah.
try one more thing. But don't you find it very interesting though that magically all of a sudden they can't do anything without without the what you call it, without the Eastern Gateway being done, which was announced
That's
4
what it
years
seems
ago.
like. Like moving forward, it's like that seems like to be the biggest hurdle. It's like, well, we can't move forward unless we get the Eastern Gate. Well, I mean, the Eastern Gateway should have been started 2 years ago. You know,
You would honestly think, but again, it's something that
Mickey
yeah.
and
See,
Friends
I
and
can't hear
Pixar
it, but that's
Pals
all right.
has.
I'll watch it
And
later.
there's already been
but
a lot of work
I-
going on, a lot
well,
of
just
planning.
take it, yeah, just take it
As
off, and then
people
we'll,
come in from the east.
yeah, we'll do something else, or we'll watch it, and
well, in any case, folks, that's like a little taste of
yeah,
the Jim Scholl. So if you definitely want to check it out, watch the full video entirely. I'm for sure he'll go like through like the of how it can
but
plead
see,
his case, so to speak, of why
Okay.
Zootopia would do better than Avatar.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and let me ask everybody in the chat, literally everybody in the chat, and you, George. Are you at all surprised that now there's now another reason leading up to D23, fans are just like freaking confused above oblivion because now Disney can't even give any details about Avatar, and it's been 3 years since the announcement, and we kind of went through this back in 2024 when we saw a little movement here and there in Tomorrowland. They were cutting trees down and all sorts of things. It's like, is history repeating itself?
I think what it is people were already in the midst of talking about this for quite some time. And then when they said, oh, well, Monsters, Inc. is not going to get closed till 2027, that raised eyebrows. We thought that we were going to get news 2 years ago on Avatar. We really didn't get anything. We thought we were going to get news at Destination D23, no news. So I think now that the next D23 Ultimate Fan event is on the horizon for us, I think now more than ever, people are starting to put on their speculation goggles and really diving deep and saying, okay, why is this happening? How come we are getting construction on Coco? How come we're getting construction on Avengers Campus, but why are we getting nothing with Avatar? And it always seems like there's some sort of excuse for them to say, okay, well, let's just wait, or we're extending it out, or why not at least show us what we're going to be expecting of the land? Why? Because I really truly don't think they have it. No. I really truly don't think they do.
Well,
not unless by D23, if we are in that arena and they put it up on screen and they say, here it is, we start construction. And I don't want to hear very soon. I cannot stand we're starting construction very soon. You were starting construction very soon in 2023. Like, I want to hear we're starting construction in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is giving some hope. But if we hear nothing substantial on Avatar, I think honestly, they're not going to cancel it, because they wouldn't do that to James Cameron, especially since it's a great, healthy partnership and relationship that they have. I just think that maybe they're delaying it to the fact where they can make it greater. And I think that would be the placate way that they could do it. Say, you know what, we want to give you Avatar, but we think we can give you something bigger and bolder and better. So we're going to hold off on it right now. But in the meantime, we're bringing Zootopia to the parks.
Well, see, okay.
And honestly, if they did it that way, people wouldn't be scrutinizing them on Avatar, because if you have a good enough replacement, then,
well,
you know.
Here's my problem. Here's my issue. Because when I was reading that article to everybody from KTLA 5, the problem that I read in that article, and I don't know if you caught it, they said that neither Avatar or Zootopia is a good spot in DCA. And I respectfully disagree with that. Because if they want to use the Hollywood backlot, I'm telling you right now, Zootopia is the absolute best fit. You know why? It fits the Hollywood theme. You wouldn't have to do anything with the monorail. You wouldn't have to modify it. None of that crap. You leave the monorail alone and you build around it. With Avatar, they're running all sorts of obstacles and issues trying to hide the monorail. Because in the world of Avatar, Pandora, who in the hell sees a monorail running right through a land?
Well, and then there's also the fact that when I say, why not put Avatar in the Simba lot? You have a blank canvas, you could do much bigger, better, and then people then say, well, that's going to take too long. You have to wait. It's already taken long.
Yeah,
it's already been 3 years.
3 years. Yep.
And we don't know jack shit about this project.
No, and you know what's worse than that? 3 years. And it was actually 4 years back in 2022 that the Eastern Gateway was announced. And they still haven't freaking dug anything up to start building that. That was 4 years ago. And then people wonder why Walt Disney World and all these international parks, but speaking domestically, Walt Disney World gets stuff a hell of a lot faster. Again, I don't know if it's the permits. I don't know if it's the size factor of the resort trying to figure out logistically how to do it. I don't know if it's the budget. I don't know. I at this point, all I can conclude, Disneyland in Anaheim, California being the obvious word, loves to go through red tape. Why? I could tell you why, but I'm not going to go that direction. But I'm telling you, compared to Orlando, which they're like, red tape, screw that. We're building. Obviously, they have more room, so I know people are going to say that in the comments. So I just want to nip that in the butt right from the beginning. They have the room, they have the space, but when it comes to construction, if they don't have a room in a certain section of one of their parks, they still get it done a hell of a lot faster. Minus Tron, though. That's the one thing, because during COVID, I don't count that. But everything else, they move so much faster. Like literally, they closed Muppets Courtyard and they literally threw construction walls up the next, like that night. They blocked off the land of Muppets and they started ripping buildings apart either that day or the next day. They don't screw around. Out here, I don't know what it is. I don't get it. That's why that article came out from KTLA 5, and now it's starting to make sense. And even Jim Scholl, a former Imagineer that worked for Disney, that has connections, that knows things that us Disney fans or Disney nerds don't know. You can see where the problem is.
Yeah, and the fact that it, as I said, it hit KTLA 5 News, that's very interesting. So let's see. So we have Mademoiselle says fits perfectly. Put Avatar in the Simba lot. That's what I'm thinking. Yep. Now, John Make It Rain is on the opposite side of the spectrum. He's Team Avatar.
Oh, I am too.
No one can convince me that Zootopia fits better, especially if they think about the actual rides that go into Avatar. Let me see.
Interesting.
Let me see. And then continues. I can't be convinced that Zootopia fits better for that area, especially when you start thinking about. Oh, sorry. It just, for some reason, I think it just put it in twice. Then the monorail is going to need to be changed eventually anyway. They'll do Zootopia at Walt Disney World before it goes to Disneyland, too close to Shanghai, which already has Zootopia. So, excuse me. The thing with that part, John, is even though Disneyland, like on a map, it would be closer to Shanghai. I think honestly, with a lot of the how dare I say this, world news is, I think a lot of people aren't really planning on traveling to Shanghai. I mean, there are people that do. I know a lot of like content creators and everything, but like recently, like I'm not looking to go to Shanghai. You know,
I'll go to Disneyland Paris, but that's as far as I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah, like some of like the that part, like maybe in time, hopefully things can get better and fixed, but like right now I'm not. So me to be able to experience something in Zootopia for me right now would have to either be in Disneyland or Walt Disney World.
Okay, let me ask John Make It Rain. This is a question to him specifically. And John, thank you for all these comments. They're awesome. I deeply appreciate it. But let me ask you this. If Disney crammed in the Avatar land into the Hollywood backlot, would you be okay with them having one attraction and not enough immersion in the land, and possibly a not a great transition point to get into the land? Are you okay with all three of those options? Because if you build Avatar in the Simba parking lot, and I'm going to get to Hudson's comment in a second as well, but if you build Avatar in the Simba parking lot, you have a better chance of a great transition point to get into the land, like you see at Animal Kingdom, which when I experienced that was absolutely breathtaking. And then on top of that, you can have more than one attraction, and you could do more with it because you have more space.
Yeah, so to kind of like it be the same thing, but to add on to what you're saying, yeah, John, are you cool with actually having both? Like, even if Zootopia was to go in the Hollywood land or Hollywood backdrop, and then they put Zootopia in the Simba lot, are you cool with that? You know, oh, trust me, Peter, that was brought up yesterday.
No,
it was brought up.
No,
it was brought up.
No,
it was brought up. I'm just saying it was part of the conversation.
Yeah, your conversation.
So John, let us know if you're cool with, like,
yeah,
even though you're not a fan of Zootopia, let me see how I can put this. Even though you're not a fan of Zootopia taking the place of Avatar, but would you be okay with it taking the place of Avatar in that spot and just moving Avatar
in a different center?
Yeah.
And then
Hudson says Simba lot might be a future resort.
Actually, to tell you the truth, Hudson, the Simba parking lot is actually going to be an extension of DCA. What is technically going to be a third gate is the Toy Story parking lot. And what I actually pitched to George a while back, and this was even before we went on the trip to Walt Disney World, was eventually, because Disneyland Forward is going to be a 40-year plan between Disney and the city of Anaheim. Eventually, I think that the Angels are going to move out of the location they are for Angel Stadium eventually, because that stadium is extremely old, and I think the current contract they're on right now is only 5 years.
Really quick, he's saying like more of a hotel, like with DVC.
I don't know if they have room to build another hotel, because you got Pixar Place right there. Now, I could see Pixar Place being retrofitted to maybe having a couple of the top levels being DVC only, but I don't think they would build another hotel on the Simba parking lot area. I don't think so. But eventually, I think the Anaheim Convention Center and all those businesses in that area, in that plot of land, will move to where Angel Stadium sits and be part of OC Vibe. And Toy Story will use that parking lot and the convention center lot to make the third gate. That's what I think eventually within the 40 years.
Okay. Okay, so John Make It Rain says, I would not be okay with Avatar going in the Simba lot. The space is very limited due to their inept decision to put that dumb Pixar Pal parking lot in prime ride real estate. So wait, when you say the Pixar Pal parking, are you talking about the Pixar Pal's parking structure? Because that's connected to the Mickey and Friends parking lot.
No, I think he meant to say the parking
Pixar Hotel.
Yeah, for the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've heard rumors they want to tear down that hotel.
I hope eventually they do. That thing is, as I said, I've been inside. It is nice. I will say they did clean up.
They did.
But I feel like it's a good cleanup of just as a Band-Aid. I don't see the outside of that building is still god-awful ugly. It's just...
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
No, he's saying no, not the hotel. I mean, he said, yeah, no, not the hotel parking structure.
Okay, well, John, let's take a look. I'm going to look up Google Maps here. Let's take a look because I'm very curious.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Giant Peter. I don't think Disney would go through 2 years of those super long meetings just for Simba to be DVC. I agree with that. That's too much prime real estate to just do another hotel because honestly, DCA is already landlocked for land. So that's going to be the biggest expansion that they could ever do for DCA in time. And then once that's done right now, that's it, so I think it's going to be for,
yeah.
Let me see. Zootopia can go next to Avatar or behind the coaster while weaving in and out of those two giant. I'm trying to figure out. Wait, Zootopia can go next to Avatar or behind the coaster. What coaster are you referring to?
The Incredicoaster. There's not room.
There's they already have to squeeze in Coco for that, if that's the coaster you're referring to. But that's what I mean, like for them to still stick Zootopia next to Avatar anyway,
there's no room.
So if you're going to put Zootopia over there anyway, the whole thing would be kind of Zootopia ready. Oh, you have the thing up? Okay.
Yeah, I have the thing up. So let's take a look. Right here is the Simba parking lot. John, the only hotel parking structure I see is this right here. This. And then this is the hotel actually. But right here. And the rest of this is the Simba parking lot. I'm telling you right now, I've seen this parking lot hundreds, if not thousands of times. It is more than plenty big enough for Avatar. There is no question about that. None. And quite frankly, I respect your opinion. I really do. Because you and OG kind of share the same opinion that it's going to go into the Hollywood backlot. I just don't think a movie franchise like Avatar that's worth multi-billions of dollars, they're going to cram into the Hollywood backlot. I don't see it. Even with the bus load and unload, I just don't see it.
Well, what's so funny is they added that pitch in the very beginning when they said that the bus load unload area was going to be part of Avatar, but then it kind of changed when they showed the Eastern Gateway concept art and what I like to call Pandora's ass.
Yeah.
And it didn't even reach the bus load unload area. So that tells me that the back lot is the only part that's going to be for Avatar. I'm assuming, but I don't know how they're going to bleed it out onto the street. I'm not sure.
Okay, so actually, John actually came out with another comment. If you could pull that up, George, he says that the actual Pixar Pal parking structure, that to go there, they could have put it on the plot of land that's north of Mickey and Friends. Okay, where? Because this right here is Pixar Palace right here. Or no. Yeah, this is Pixar Palace right here. And literally right here, this parking lot, that is not the Simba parking lot. Just to clarify, this is the Lilo and Stitch parking lot. This is
not saying where the hotels are.
Okay. Because again, here's Pixar Pier, here's the Grand Californian, and the hotel towers are right here. Fantasy Tower, you have the villas, then you have the Adventure Tower and the Frontier Tower. He's saying put it right here where all the hotels are. I'm like,
is that what you're saying, John? You're saying put it there?
Yeah, I think he was, John. If you could clarify, I'm pretty sure he was saying put it where all these hotels are. I don't think Disney's doing that. Not after they just built the DVC tower. That's not
saying the Pixar Pal parking lot.
Okay, well,
there's the Pixar Pal parking structure.
Yeah, which is
the Pixar Pal parking structure is what's connected to the Mickey and Friends.
Yes.
The hotels to the north of Mickey and Friends.
So what, back here? Near the structure. I'm kind of lost. Hey, John, if you could do us a favor and maybe send me or George on Instagram a picture, message us, and maybe circle the area.
Yeah, so he's saying, yeah. He said, yeah, I guess of what you were saying.
Up here. So
those, can you zoom that in? Is that even Disney? Is that Disney property?
This parking lot is right here, and I think this is, but there's not enough room because you got north of Mickey and Friends. It is where the parking lot could have gone. Okay. It's not, but they could have purchased it. They could have purchased this whole area.
So John, I just want to just make sure if I'm understanding correctly. You're saying if Disney purchased that, and after purchasing that, use that for what exactly?
For
I just want to make sure, like, I'm understanding, like, his vision, because I'm curious. I want to see, like,
that space is larger than the Mickey and Friends and Pixar Pal parking structure combined. So he's talking about this whole area back here. Literally right. This whole area.
So if you're saying to purchase that, then turn... Oh, I see. So let me see if I got this correctly. Disney buys that, uses that for parking. That would push the Mickey and Friends and Pixar's up, and it would free up all of that.
He says bingo.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay. Got it. Okay, got it. So Mickey and Friends would literally neck and neck with West Ball Road. And that would have meant this parking lot and like half of this wouldn't have been available. And the hotels wouldn't have moved up. And okay, now I see it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I was trying to like understand. It's like I was trying to, like, I wanted to see his vision.
Yeah,
and I couldn't see it, but then it like
sorry, John. I was trying to understand that, but
yeah, I was too. Like I couldn't really like see it, but now
I think right now they are too far in. Now, if they would have done this back in the 80s or something, I would 100%
Well,
Agreed.
and I think that's a big problem is the way that they structured out the resort. Now they have to swerve and work around it like
Yes.
like Jenga. You
Yes.
know, it was never supposed to be designed like a full-fledged resort, but now that they're trying to do that, it's kind of hard that the way that the original
Yeah. I still kind of feel like eventually Pixar Place will go. It'll, excuse me, it will go. I'm
do you
not.
think they'll replace it with another hotel?
No.
So you
I-
think they'll move a hotel elsewhere, but that'll clear up for more theme park space.
I think they will. I think they will. And John Make It Rain says it's not too late to bulldoze the Pixar Pal parking structure.
Right now, I really think it is due to the fact that there's probably not enough parking space as it is now. We don't even have the Eastern Gateway up yet.
No. We don't.
And they utilize that parking structure because every time that we go,
And-
like either if Mickey and Friends isn't filled, the Pixar Pals is.
Yeah. And not to mention, if they did do it, I'm not saying it's impossible because they could. They have to.
They may after they're done with the Eastern Gateway if they wanted to try to maneuver some things.
Maybe they would have to buy out the Holiday Inn, the Spring Hills Hotel, and the Staybridge Hotel to make it happen.
See, and here's the thing: I still think that is a possibility, and I think that's why with Disneyland Forward being a 40+ year project,
Yes.
I think eventually it is to move in time for Disney to buy up maybe some residential areas, maybe some other business areas.
Sure.
And I think that way they can expand out the Disneyland because we have to remember this isn't going to be overnight.
No. But that would give the Lilo and Stitch a big footprint for a massive expansion. Massive. Now, what I'm talking about with the Toy Story parking lot as a third gate, Toy Story here, this is Toy Story, but all this right here where the convention is in Hilton and all that, this can all be demoed, and literally you would have this plot land and Toy Story to have a massive third gate, and maybe possibly even a Westcott, maybe. But then again, there were leaked images on social media as of this week or last week that showed concept art, even though it was blurred out, that possibly looked like a Westcott or an Epcot version going over there.
That would be for Shanghai.
Yep.
And then, Hudson Thomas says, I think the north half of Simba lot could be a value or DVC.
Could be a value of DVC and the rest of a DCA expansion. Ooh, maybe. Again, the possibilities are endless. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I kind of like cut out. I don't know if I said it completely, but I do agree. At some point, the Disneyland Resort does need a value resort. I do agree with Hudson on that.
It does. I just don't think the Simba lot is a good option. I think it needs to go somewhere.
You would use the Simba lot for prime theme park real estate.
I would, because even what they're building with Avengers and Coco, which is Coco's not even a land, it's just an attraction. That's it. And Avatar, if they do put in the Hollywood backlot, and if they're not willing to get rid of the Hyperion or PhilharMagic, it's only going to have one land or one attraction. That is not going to be enough. I'm telling you that right now. So Simba, I'm telling you folks right now, that should be prime theme park space no matter what.
So
Now,
John McGreen says a large lush volcano with Moana, Black Panther, The Incredibles, Treasure Planet, and some other things could go in the Simba lot. I like the combination of Moana, Black Panther, and Treasure Planet. The Incredibles, I don't know if they'll expand up because they already have the Incredicoaster, but maybe, again, I know Treasure Planet is like an appreciative movie, but also Atlantis, I think, would be kind of cool for them to do. And then Hudson says, I'm trying to see the corporation's perspective, not ours. So So to the same question, aside from our own personal thoughts and opinions, looking at it through a corporate lens, do you think they would do that?
Take up half the Simba lot? It's possible. It's possible. It just, I do not see the Disney hotels. Maybe I'm just not on top of it, and that's a great possibility. I don't see the Disney hotels selling out. Like, I mean, like hotel stays. I never see not one hotel on Disney property selling out rooms. Not once. And if they can't even do that, and again, I'm probably completely wrong because I'm not on top of it when it comes to that. But if they're not selling every single room during a busy holiday season, like Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter, all the, then is it really worth at this point, this early on in a 40-year project, to build more hotels on property?
I mean, I could see them it happening like once they build a third gate.
Yes.
You know, they may be, because a lot of people might stay on property to say, ooh, a brand new theme park at the Disneyland Resort since 2001.
Yes.
You know, that might be. But yeah, like on any given day, if they were to build a new theme park, a new hotel right now, even though it's a new hotel, people would stay there just because it's new. But all that's offering right now, the same stuff at Disneyland, I don't know if people would spend that money if it is a very high-end price when you could just stay at a Disney Good Neighbor hotel for
exactly.
3/4 less of the price.
Exactly. It's not beneficial at this moment. Eventually, I think they will do it. But right now, no. That's not a good idea. I'm telling you that right now, because DCA needs more capacity, and building another hotel and putting a mass amount of money to build that instead of a land or several attraction, not worth it, at least at this moment. But George,
and John McRae says, I think eventually all of the parking gets put on the east side of the freeway.
Interesting. So over here, I think if memory serves me correct, yeah, over here, it's possible. It's more than possible. I would love to see if they are going to build more hotels on property 15, 20 years from now. I'm just going to throw out a number. I'm just throwing it out there. No fact behind it. But if they do, I would like to see hotels built like, all-star movies, like those type of hotels.
The value hotels. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Hudson is saying, I'm thinking later in Disneyland Forward, after Avengers, Coco, Avatar, or whatever.
Yeah, no, I completely see that, Hudson. I completely see it. I just don't think for the first 10 to 15 years, they're going to worry about building another hotel. But I could be 100% wrong. I think their goal right now is exactly what you just said. Avatar, Coco, Avengers, probably Tomorrowland, and maybe
I think the Lilo and Stitch parking lot's going to be filled with something before that too.
Yeah. Once those are done and they start touching the Toy Story parking lot, then we'll see probably another hotel go up at that point going forward. I that's what I see, to be honest with everybody. It's not that I don't want another hotel. I just don't think it's a good idea, since I've said it before, Disney, for whatever reason, loves to segregate their budget per quarter. Universal, I don't see them doing that. Maybe I'm just not looking at it correctly, but Universal's all like, we came up with an idea, we're building it. There is no red tape. There is no, we're gonna allot for quarter one. We're gonna allot $10 million. Quarter two, we're gonna allot $20 million. Q3, we're going to allot. Universal doesn't do that, as far as I'm concerned. I could be wrong. Disney, they've even openly admitted they do that. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. And Hudson said at this point of a third gate, they'll want 2 or 3 more hotels. More impossible, but we're talking about 15 years from now, at least. Because hell, look what's happening, Hudson, right now. Eastern Gateway was announced 4 years ago. They haven't even broke ground on it yet. Avatar announced 3 years ago. They haven't even broke ground yet. They haven't even closed Monsters. If anything, they extended Monsters another year. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And I could see them acquiring and demolishing Good Neighbor hotels. Yeah, I think down the road, I think that's Disney's like end game. I think what they're trying to do is so they could buy up as much land as they possibly can off of these businesses, off of these residential areas, because once they start knocking the Good Neighbor hotels, then people would be forced to stay on their property. And so I think, again, Disneyland Forward, moving down the ladder, I think that's Disney's long-term goal, is to own most of what is on Harbor and Catella and what have you.
100%. But without further ado, does anybody have any more questions about D23, our experience, any ticket information? Because George is going to be your guy. I'm learning as he's talking, so I could try to answer it, but it would probably better be coming from George, not me.
As my favorite character, Jiminy Cricket, always says, let your conscience be your guide.
That's true. That is very true.
See, Giant Peter Adventure says Disneyland Forward is basically to emphasize the word resort in Disneyland Resort. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think
they're eventually, they want to expand out Disneyland to be a full-fledged resort like Walt Disney World. It may not be exactly like Walt Disney World. Nothing will be like Walt Disney World.
No.
But to get to the best of its ability, that's what their plan is to do.
Yeah. No, 100%. So we'll just wait and see. Again, Disney has history, like they did in 2024 when George and OG went to D23, and they started leaking out information weeks, if not months, before the event even kicked off. And I remember George and I were talking one day, and we were on the phone, and we said to each other, are they going to even leave anything for you guys to even get exclusive at the parks panel, or are they just going to leave it online?
I remember that conversation we had, and it was like they just started dropping stuff literally weeks before the event, and I'm like, why? Like, just say it.
I know. And Disney has the habit of doing that, and I don't understand that. And that's
they did it with Toontown.
Yes.
Back in 2022 for that D23, and it's like, I mean, they had the model there, but like it would have been cool just to like, you know, wait for that. I remember actually being in line in 2019, and they dropped because media was already up there.
Sure.
Media had already seen the showroom floor, and they got to see a model of the Moana walkthrough at Epcot.
Really?
So while everybody is standing in line waiting to get in, all media people's dropping on social media, oh, breaking news, there's going to be a Moana walkthrough water attraction at Epcot. And people are like, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
Like, can we wait till like the doors open and we can be surprised to see it for ourselves? Like,
see, that's what I mean. I just, correct me if I'm wrong, and please correct me, because I'm probably going to sound like arrogant here, but Disney is like a child in a candy store, and the parent hands them a 20 and says, okay, Johnny, I'm going to give you a $20 bill. Don't spend it in one place. Don't just buy one candy. Buy multiple. and then you come back and you turn your head, and he spent the whole $20 on a candy bar that was way overpriced to begin with. See what I'm getting at here?
Yep.
Disney is like, oh, well, we have to throw the news out there. It's like, what the hell?
It's like, yeah, it was like literally like the doors were ready to open. It's like, let them release the news once we get in there.
Yeah.
Like, don't break. I think, and I don't know if that was actually not purposely done. Like, obviously, they wanted media to announce it, but I don't know if it got announced a little bit too early before they anticipated.
I have to ask George real quick, and I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Do you remember the news organization that leaked that? Was it KTLA 5 or ABC?
No. This was like I think this was like Disney like media people.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so because see, they were already up on the showroom floor.
Wow.
While we were down in the trenches in the line. So it was breaking news. So it was coming through all Disney media outlets on X, on Instagram, and we're all standing in line. And I hear people saying, breaking news, there's going to be a Moana walkthrough attraction. I'm like, what the hell? How do you know that? Like, we didn't even get in there. And it was because media was already up there.
And watch what's going to happen. I swear to you not, history is going to repeat itself. Me, George, and Abby are going to be in line with Jason, and we're going to be in line, and someone's going to scream that, or one of us are going to look online and say, what the hell?
Media gets a first range look at the oh my god, like the models and the concept arts.
Yeah,
they get the first unveiling, which is fine, but I don't think that should be something that should be released to the public until we get an opportunity to see it first too.
I would say if I was Disney, they can cover it. They could take photos, they could take video, but not release it until 2 hours after the convention opens day one. 2 hours.
Right, because then people could then read their article of like what they're seeing, and people may not have gotten to it yet. So yeah, that I can understand. Now, when it comes time for like stuff like for food or merch,
I'll drop it.
That's fine. Drop it right then and there. You know, it's like, as I said, our good friend Mondo was just at the media event for FanFest. FanFest. I don't know what the hell I just said. FanFest. I don't know. FanFest. And I tell you, there's some food I wanted to try. I definitely want to try that I cannot talk. Not saggy. Shaggy sandwich. I want to try that saggy.
That looks
saggy.
good.
Oh my God, I keep on calling it saggy.
Oh, geez. Because it's funny because we were I think it was the last day we were at Walt Disney World. We went to Disney Springs and we ate at the Boathouse. And great choice, by the way, George. Thank you for that. I had it was the Yacht Club sandwich, and it looks very similar to what the Shaggy sandwich looks like for FanFest.
And they have potato chips on it. Come on, like.
Oh, dude. Got me sold. Got me sold. Come on, man.
And Hudson says the Moana walkthrough felt like it should have been in Animal Kingdom. That I agree with you. I feel like it would have had more of an impact.
It looked.
The design fit Animal Kingdom to a glove.
Oh, like, yeah. It looked out of place in Epcot.
Yeah. And plus, Animal Kingdom gets very hot. So I think the water base would have like worked really well.
I think so.
And then John Make It Rain says, would you guys like it if they bought Lara Croft and put that into the parks like they did with Indiana Jones?
I can see that. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, nothing. I think, honestly, anything's on the table. I was never really a Tomb Raider player kind of thing. Like, I knew of it, but I never was, like, heavily invested in it.
But I will say Angelina Jolie.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for you to say it.
Yep, you knew it.
But yeah, but like, I mean, I think if it works, it works. Because again, I said the same thing about Avatar, and I thought there's no way that this is going to fit well in Animal Kingdom. And it does. It works perfect. You know, so I think if Disney can pull it off, then hey, I say go for it. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
But oh, let me see what this is. That sounds more like of a Universal thing. What do you think? Tomb Raider Universal?
I think Tomb Raider is probably more Universal because Universal kind of like they have more of the edgier IP,
like the Mummy kind of thing. Yeah.
But
in any case, folks, we want to thank you so much for joining this almost 3.5 hour live.
There we go.
With Mr. Theme Park Conductor and I. But you know what? We love doing these lives. It didn't even feel like 3.5 hours, to be honest with you, because we just enjoy doing this. And I want to thank you all for joining and putting in your comments, your concerns, your opinions, your questions. Loved your questions. And big shout out for the super chats from, I'm just going to go right down the list, for Dragon Blood and Dragon Blood becoming a new member. The 5 lucky people that got the Theme Park Conductor memberships, the Only Sea Theorist with several super chats, Mouseward Bound, Abby for gifting 5 Hollow Gelato memberships, and also for Abby gifting Theme Park Conductor $5 to try to convince him to go into a costume at D23.
The blue guy from Ryan Reynolds, I might do that. I might do it.
Okay.
One of the days. Get one.
And then Hudson says, thanks, guys. Awesome as always. Well, thank you. We greatly appreciate you, Hudson. And Remy D says, do you think it's inevitable Disney will adapt a video game IP into attractions and lands to compete with Universal? I think if they can pull it off, if they could find a way to do it, I think they will.
Yeah, I think so.
They very well could.
I think a lot of
hashtag Disney, Kingdom Hearts.
There you go. I was just going to say Kingdom of Hearts would be perfect to go against Universal and Super Nintendo World. 100% agree with that. Because that merch.
And I'm still waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4. Still waiting for it.
Oh, there you go.
Anticipating it. But again, folks, thank you all so much for joining us today. Mr. Theme Park Conductor, as always, so glad to be doing these lives with you. I think we are the king among crops when it comes to these live shows. We really bang them out. But if you want to let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. You can find me, Theme Park Conductor, on YouTube, Blue Sky, and Instagram at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like the one, the only, Mr. Hollow Gelato with his spicy Italian theme park opinions that I love so much, and being my partner in crime on all these live streams, and just being an overall great friend to hang out in the parks. Him and his wonderful wife, Abby, are just great. And they're a lot of fun. They bring a lot of fun energy when we're all hanging together, whether it's at the parks, the movies, City Walk, Downtown Disney, or Walt Disney World, and eventually the cruise lines. But they're awesome. And we have so many other guests as well as we break down Disney and Universal news. We speculate, we talk rumors. We have the chat, like John Make It Rain, Remy D, Giant Peter, and so many others engage with us in the comments and ask us and the guests on the show questions. So big shout out to all you guys. You guys are incredible. And I'm very pleased that the 5 new people that got the memberships, please enjoy the Theme Park Conductor membership only exclusive content. There was a lot of it filmed from Walt Disney World, from the parks, so definitely please enjoy that. Also, it's that time again where we're going to start probably breaking down HHN, because as of today from Universal Hollywood, someone spotted a tent going up in the Curious George parking lot, in the back parking lot. So it's already time once again to experience Halloween Horror Nights. And it just felt like we just experienced it a couple months ago. So this is crazy.
It's the most wonderful time of the. Oh, sorry, wrong holiday. But any case,
Love you, Joe.
I had to. Come on.
I know you did.
But in any case, too, and again, this is not going to be our last conversation about D23. As the months go on and the days go on, we will get new information coming from Disney and D23. We will be relating it to you throughout our content, our videos, vlogs, lives, what have you. We will be bringing it all to you. And also, when we're actually there at the event, you guys are going to get a slew full of content there. And also, as well, I still have a few more Florida videos that will be dropping. I greatly appreciate the patience. I just had to get a few others up first, which I actually will be having a Boysenberry Festival at Knott's Berry Farm. Me and Abby is going to be dropping very, very soon. So definitely look out for that. And also, I will be doing a D23 prediction video and a D23 prediction live. Possibly, if he would like to join me with Mr. Theme Park Conductor, we will be breaking down all our thoughts, opinions, wild cards of what we can expect to see at this upcoming D23. So again, definitely look out for that. Really quick, Chime Pierce says, I need to see Conductor dress up as Shaggy and George as Scooby. That would be freaking, I mean, obviously they're not Disney, but that would be hilarious. Honestly, as I said, I have no shame. I would literally wear a collar and you could hook me onto a leash. And like, you could just like, I'll have the Scooby-Doo costume on and I'll just be like walking on all fours and everything. So
That's what I think about it. Right there. No.
oh my gosh.
Why is everyone so interested in dressing me up? That's what I want to know.
I think you'd look cool. I think you'd look cool.
I hate long hair.
But
So Shaggy's not working.
well, do you know what? If you end up wearing a wig, who knows? Maybe some crows will start picking at it like they did the Rapunzel animatronic.
No. You and the crows. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. But in any case, folks, on that note, thank you all so much for joining us today. This is Theme Park Conductor. I'm George, the Disney Italiano. And as I always say, in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano out.